Hello everyone, and welcome to a lovely Monday afternoon, evening, morning, whatever it is for you and your part of the world right now. My name is ELH, your illustrious game master, mind flare, and black hole enthusiast. And you guessed it, we're playing more Vampire Therapist today. We are very, very close to the end. And I'm honestly not sure whether we will do another hour and a half, 2 hours, or if we're just going to shoot for gold and try to finish it off today. We'll just sort of have to find out and see. But YouTube, if you are watching this, please do let me know what you think of the characters so far. I love hearing everything that you all have to say about the eclectic group of characters in this game. Especially the sentences that some of you have highlighted. But YouTube, give me 1 minute to say hello to Twitch chat, and then we will resume. Alright, welcome back YouTube. If you are just joining this, or you need a reminder of where we left off, we had just ended up doing the 3 vampires of Dr. Drayne, Isabella, and Edmund back to back, and today we will be starting with the 3rd session of Meddy, the vampire Dami Mommy streamer. Though I'm going to be interested to see how she reacted
blood debt repaid
to her week off, or her day off. Also, Grey Matter, hello, Paradox, hello, and Lord Exile, thank you for the sub. Thank you so much. But yeah, let us resume.
That's right. I hope she's making some progress. The world
Jedi
sure
Prime, welcome as well.
I am hopeful. One does not live so long without being very resilient. I have had a number of near-final death incidents myself, and I have been trained to fight since childhood.
That's true. She's clearly got a few tricks up her sleeve. I don't even know how she plays them 3D video games.
Based on her last session, you probably have some idea of her current concerns. Would you like to prepare your distortions?
Yeah, I guess I better do that. Now, let's see.
Alright, so we know that she has should statements. We know she does a lot of always right. I think she also does a fair amount of labeling. And let's also take disqualifying the positive here. And we'll just sort of see what happens.
All right, I think I've got what I need.
Very good, Samuel. I shall leave you. I believe I hear the flapping of ancient wings.
So, it's interesting you say that, Alex, because I almost took emotional reasoning. But one of the things about emotional reasoning is that it is it's very tricky to spot sometimes when compared to everything else, because everything could be emotional reasoning. So I deliberately did not pick it because I didn't want to flub every single one. But my question for Andy here: what do ancient wings sound like here? Like, what is the difference between regular wings and ancient wings? Like, what is the difference?
Greetings, my most favorite mouse.
Squeak, 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 squeak.
Good to see you, Meddy. How's this month been for you?
Oh, it's been ever so tiring. My glitch channel hit 100 million followers, and they are all very hungry for content.
100 million followers. I don't even think that Iron Mouse or Amaranth or any number of top streamers even have 100 million. That's a lot of people. That is quite literally, what is it, a third of the United States population? Because I think the United States is somewhere around 250 to 300 million. So that's a lot of people, Meddy.
What do you mean by content? Is it like making a TV show?
Oh, no, silly mouse. Do you know how we're hungry for blood all the time? Mortals are like that too, but for content.
It's 2.3 Polands. In fact, that's how I'm gonna, describe things from now on, is like, yeah, it's 2.3 Polands, because everybody knows what that means. And yeah, like, I wonder if, so Mr. Beast, PewDiePie, those like echelon streamers that are above everybody else, they are definitely up there, but I don't even know if they have 100 million. It's insane.
And he's constantly putting up new things on the internet. They don't get content, they get frightfully bored.
I can see why that'd be exhausting.
It's alright, silly cowboy. They can be very nice. They're always very excited to see me. And they give me ever so much money. I don't know what to do with it all.
Well, sounds to me like you can afford to take a break, huh? Did you take that day off like you promised?
Yeah, it's one of those things where I'm not totally up to date, but yeah, 333 million for the US sounds about right. Ninja being around 19.1 million subs, and then PewDiePie with the 100 million subs on YouTube. Like, these are like people that you could never catch up to in your lifetime because they were at the ground level kind of a thing. Poland's around 36 million citizens, so actually it means that, let me see, so that is almost 10 Polands. That's like 9 point something Polands. Nice.
I did. I didn't like it very much.
Uh-oh, Meddy did not like her day off. Oh dear.
I'm sorry to hear that, Meddy. What was bad about it?
It was very quiet. It was just me, alone, with no one to talk to but the voices in my head. Those voices are very unkind.
Oh. Meddy, I empathize with you in this moment. Oh dear.
What do they say?
They say, Meddy, you're being a very naughty vampire. You should respond to your zealots. You should be planning your content.
That's a should statement.
Well, heck, Meddy. Who the hell do them voices in your head think they are? Telling you what you should and shouldn't do. Them shoulds don't mean anything at all. It ain't nice of them at all to be pressuring you.
I could certainly be a lot kinder. I already know that I should be preparing my content and answering my zealots. They don't need to be rude about it.
Well, maybe they were being rude because they know they're full of horse shit, huh? Ain't no shoulds but the ones we make up.
Silly cowboy. You don't know anything at all about the internet, do you?
Nope, I think we've established that, Meddy. Sam is he was on dial-up in the year of our Lord 2024, so he does not know a dang thing about the internet.
Yeah, I gotta confess, I got almost no idea what you're talking about. I didn't get much past Vimeo.
I don't know what I'd do without the internet. I'd probably be a pile of ashes. Or maybe a desiccated, bloodless corpse.
I gotta ask, how'd you get so good at all this internet stuff anyway? I can't keep up with all this modern technology.
So she either just paid attention or, knowing what we know about Meddy, my guess is that Meddy probably had a blood partner at some point that kept her up to date, but then something very, very bad happened with that blood puppet.
Well, back in the before times, I didn't need the internet very much. I used to live in the wilds where no one knew to look for me. If any silly mortals came to visit me, I would eat them. And if no one came to visit, I could go hunting for them on my own.
Exactly, Caspian. She probably ate someone who was internet capable. Probably.
But now there aren't any wilds. Now there are motorways and nasty machines. Now there are suburbs and shopping centers.
So what did you do when the wilds went away?
I moved into the city, but I never liked it very much. People were very upset at me for being able to come out only at night.
Yeah, it's one of those things, Instigator, that, you would think Sam, having a mortal life, would have picked up the internet by now. I mean, Andy's picked up the internet, though Andy also didn't know about copy-paste. So, it's very clear that some vampires take to technology and others don't.
They started to whisper that I was a witch. I know what mortals like to do to witches. Pop goes the eyeball.
Meddy, please put your eye back in.
Oh, right, yeah. Funny. So, how'd you manage?
Well, I found out I could get mortals to do things for me. In exchange for a peek at my naughty bits, and for their miserable little insect lives, they would clean up after all my messes.
Yeah, she is definitely just a wee bit insane. Just a wee bit.
Realized that mortals only ever wanted one of two things from me: to kill me or to do sexual things with me. As long as they think they can have a chance of sexual things, I can control them.
Oh dear. Alright, well, right. So, this isn't a should statement. I don't think this is labeling. I'm wondering if this, because this could be one of three things in my mind. This could be overgeneralization. This could be always right. This also could be disqualifying the positive. Let's start with overgeneralization.
I think you're shooting fish in a real small barrel there, miss. You're judging mortals based on your experience, but there are about 8 billion of them out there. There are mortals who hate killing and hate sex, or don't even care about either of those things. Some of them just want to watch TV and they're happy with that.
Those are even more disgusting, because they are cowards and liars.
Wait a sec, Meddy, I'm Arrow Ace. Why am I a coward and a liar? Why are you throwing shade at me? What did I do?
Most of my best friends over the last millennia have been insects. Do you know why, little mouse?
No, enlighten me.
Oh, why don't you tell me?
Insects never lie. They kill, they eat, and they make babies. Sometimes they eat their babies. They don't pretend to be intelligent and chivalrous. They just are.
Okay.
They never surprise me. That's why I don't let mortals surprise me either. If they were honest, they would eat their babies too.
Okay, hold on. Meddy, please. Let's focus for a second. I don't know anyone that would eat their baby. I don't think that's a thing.
Well, that conversation took a kind of dark turn, but I think I get what you mean about not letting mortals surprise you.
No, let her cook. She's doing a lot of things here.
You're protecting yourself, and that's a sensible thing to do. That being said, you seem pretty convinced that danger is a sure thing.
That's right. If I let myself feel safe, that's when they'll come for me.
Okay, so if I let myself feel safe, that's when they'll come for me. Not should, not labeling. Perhaps this could be always right, because she's very positive here. Like, if we had Nos thinking, this would be Nosferatu thinking, but I think this is always right.
Meddy, you've lived in the woods like I have. I get fear is important. It protects us.
So Jedi Prime, we're not 100% sure if vampire hunters are a thing. We did run into a death metal priest, who we sort of saw that apparently some of the church does a little bit of anti-vampiric action, but we've never really heard about actual, like, World of Darkness hunters, if that makes any sense.
But you know as well as I do, that feeling's been wrong sometimes. I'm not saying not to be afraid, just to accept your fear might not always be right. Heck, I think one of my best friends in the last 50 years was a grizzly bear.
Hold on, Sam. Your friend was a grizzly... Oh, that's a story. Sam, you can't just drop that and not tell us more about that.
Oh, I suppose that's true. I used to have a wolf. Fionnuala the Fair, I called her. She could catch human treats right out of the air.
Human treats?
Oh, you know, a finger, a nose, an ear. She was so cute.
I bet it started with a bottle of bourbon. Just sharing a bottle of bourbon with the bear. You know. But Meddy had a wolf, and she fed parts of humans as treats. That's great.
Oh, well, I'm glad you made a friend. But again, you weren't afraid of her. Just how you were able to make friends at all. But don't let me interrupt you. You figured out how to get mortals to help you. Then what?
Well, my devoted little perverts were very helpful, but they had a very nasty habit of getting caught disposing of bodies.
That's a sentence. My devoted little perverts were very helpful. That is a sentence. Mm-hmm.
Policemen would shoot them into little bloody giblets. I don't like policemen very much.
I haven't had a good track record with lawmen either.
That's why I don't use them as my helpers. I can't trust them not to take their guns out and go, pow, pow, blam, 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 blam. Oh, I'm dying. My guts are falling out. Oh, why, policemen? Why?
Meddy, you... Okay, I understand why you're a streamer now. Uh-huh. Yeah.
Anyway, if my blood bags died, it would mean I couldn't get a fresh supply of blood without doing very risky things. I realized that the more blood bags I had, the safer I'd be. That's why when I found out about the internet, I knew I had to get online.
I guess that makes some kind of sense.
Oh, it was so exciting, though, little mouse. All of a sudden, I could make people do whatever I wanted without having to leave my flat at all.
Listen. Gray matter. Meddy is, what's the expression? She's, 2 horseshoes off of a full pair, or something like that. I don't remember the saying, but I feel like I have my brand of crazy, but I am nowhere on the level of Meddy. Like, Meddy, as Caspian just said, batshit crazy. She's agoraphobic. She has so much trauma in her past that she's got a little insane. Just a little bit. And see, it's interesting you say that, Evil Intent, because vampires coexisting with mortals is the whole point of Andy's club. So it's definitely possible for mortals and vampires to coexist. But we don't know what the greater world is like outside of Andy's club, unfortunately. And no, Gray Matter, to get on Meddy's level, I feel like I'd have to like go even further beyond insane.
I had so many fans, and they would disappear, but then they would be replaced by even more, just like insects. It was very easy back then. All you had to do was say you were a girl and the grabby little grubs would come out of their holes. Ah, we want vaginas.
Meddy, please no. You're not wrong. That is the internet. But at the same time, Meddy, no. All right, well, this isn't should. This isn't labeling. This isn't disqualifying the positive. Is this overgeneralization, or is this always right? I think this is overgeneralization.
So I ain't exactly gonna defend how menfolk act on the internet, but going back to what we were saying before, using these funny labels of yours probably makes it easier to fall into the overgeneralization trap. If you label people on the internet grabby grubs, well, that's all you're gonna find. Know what I mean?
Sometimes I think maybe you're a fun vampire. You take all the fun and go...
I ain't trying to ruin your fun, Meddy. Just asking you to think about the words you use and why you might be using them.
But then people realized they could say that they were anything on the internet. It was all like a big game. And what do you suppose I said I was, little mouse?
If you're a VTuber, I might just end the stream. Like, I don't know that I could deal with Meddy being a VTuber. You said that you were a man, you said that you were a dog, you said that you were a wizard. Well, the first option is not true. The dog could be a thing. Let's try saying that she was a wizard.
Did you say you were a wizard?
No, I don't like wizards.
Yeah, I guess I don't either. Always cheating at cards. That ain't right.
Okay, we've established that wizards cheat at cards. Alright.
I think you're thinking of magicians, little mouse. I said I was a vampire.
Wait, so you just straight up broke the masquerade and said that you were a vampire? I mean, let's be clear, in the age of VTubers, you know, telling someone you're a vampire, they're just be like, oh, okay, that's a cool, you know, K-Fab. Good job.
Well, that sounds kind of dangerous. I'm surprised you were so open about it after all you've been through.
Oh, but as far as they knew, I was only pretending to be a vampire because you could be anything you wanted to be. Sometimes they would come to meet me in person and they were so surprised when I drank all of their blood. But I don't think they minded very much.
So instigator, what I'm referring to is, it's a wrestling term, if I remember the origin of the term, but basically it's a wrestling term where you stay in character. So it's something where, you know, and this might dispel the illusion for some people, but if you don't know, you wouldn't know. So wrestling is very much an exercise of improvisation in the moment, where a lot of the time the people who are quote-unquote wrestling, at least in terms of like WWE, WWF, etc., that kind of wrestling, they basically are improvising a show on the fly. And they have to stay in character. So for example, yeah, exactly, it's like a character you put on. So for example, a luchador, you know, someone who wears a mask all the time, they embody the character, where you try to make everything, well, there you go, Gray Matter beat me to the punch with the definition. It's just something where you're trying to sell a character and you're trying to not give away your real personality. Yeah. Surprise Pikachu face. Are you saying wrestling is fake? Yes, but that doesn't make it any less entertaining. Anyway, Meddy just drank all their blood. Okay.
I think that was my favorite time of the internet. There was a little place there for everyone, even me. I ran a web ring for vampires. We had our own websites where we would invite people to come let us drink their blood. I suspected some of the others were actual vampires, but even I didn't know. That's what made it so special.
Ah yes, the internet before companies put ads everywhere, and the internet before phones. You see, back in my day, during the heyday of the internet, we had something called decorum, and we enjoyed our little forums and our little chat rooms because that was the true time of the internet. All right, Grandpa, you're off your meds again. Come on, back into your nursing home. Come on. Oh God, yeah, IRC channels, AIM, MSN Messenger, Skype. Oh my God.
We would send V-mails to one another and talk about vampire things. Oh, of course, it was nothing more than silly games.
So, this is an overgeneralization. It's not should. It's not always right. I think this is disqualifying the positive. Yeah, we're going to try disqualifying the positive here.
It sounds like it was maybe more than silly games. Seems to me you had yourself a group of friends.
Mm-hmm.
I suppose it must have been. How strange. Never really thought about it that way. Yes, I liked them, and they were my friends.
Speak not of the dark magics, which I was there when they were written. And yeah, Dusk Carter, I think I still have my AOL account somewhere. I haven't logged into it in over a decade, but I don't think they delete those.
And some of them friends were probably mortals.
I was friends with mortals? How bizarre. Anyway, I think for the only time ever in my life, I had a community.
I mean, Meddy, you have a community now. It's just different than what you're used to.
Gosh, you actually make it sound pretty nice. Maybe I should get a little more into this internet thing.
Oh, I'm sorry. You're too late for that, internet little mouse. It's all gone now.
Well, dang, what happened? Where did the whole internet go?
It went to social media. Face Friend and Gibber and Stumbler and all those.
Okay, I just need to process this for a moment. So instead of Facebook, it's Face Friend. Instead of Twitter, it's Gibber. And instead of Tumblr, it's just literally Stumbler. Okay.
Instead of looking for people like us, we just started asking the entire world to pay attention to us instead.
Well, that don't make too much sense to me. Sometimes when I was walking in the deep woods at night, I just used to have a good yell, but I didn't expect nobody to answer.
But that silly little mouse. The darkness is always listening, and something will always call back. We just don't know who or what.
I'm having a little trouble following. So it sounds like you had a group of people you trusted, and then just anyone?
That's right. I didn't know who they were. They just started following me.
So her community ballooned, and now she's like, who are these people?
And some of them followed me because they thought I was pretty, and some because they thought I was strange, and some because their friends were following me. Suddenly, I had 1 million mortals who would do anything I wanted them to do, and believe whatever I wanted them to believe. It's easy, you know, little mouse. They want to be controlled, and I can control them all.
No, we found out that OnlyFans is Only Zealots instigator. It's Only Zealots in this universe. But let me see here. So this isn't should. This isn't labeling. The question is it overgeneralization or is it always right? I think it's overgeneralization again.
They want to be controlled? How do you know that?
They live such short, confused lives, full of uncertainty. I'm doing them a favor, Mouseling.
Well, Twitch is glitch, and I don't think they've mentioned YouTube yet.
Even if that's true, you still can't read their minds. Maybe they don't want that favor. Maybe they don't know they're uncertain. Heck, maybe they even like uncertainty.
Oh, silly cowboy. They don't know what they want or don't want. You know that. The only problem is that I have so many of them to take care of. The problem with having so many followers is that I have to feed them so much content. Even just playing video games all the time can be a lot of work.
I mean, she's not wrong. If she's a longer streamer, because I usually average about, an hour and a half to 2 hours for my stream. And then I usually have to do maybe about 30 minutes of editing. And then I have to spend another 15 minutes uploading to YouTube, putting it on the correct socials. So, my hour and a half to 2 hours is more like 3 or 4 hours for every stream. But if she streams longer than that, then that becomes exponential. So I get it. I understand what Meddy is saying here.
And you said that taking that break didn't do much for you, huh? You were just thinking about all the work you have to do for your followers?
That's right.
If only there was a game about a vampire therapist she could play. That would be a true fourth wall break where, Sam just comes up and says, well, you should play this game that I found.
It sounds like you might have a bit of an addiction, Meddy. I got a question whether having all these followers is a good thing for you.
And Sam, it's not. Meddy is at a point where so many followers is a detriment to her.
Having friends is nice, but these fans and zealots, well, it sounds like you've taken on a big task.
It is. But I can't help that they're so very needy. If they weren't so hungry all the time, I wouldn't have to feed them. At least there are some that need a little less attention. It's the zealots who are the most demanding.
Yeah, because it's OnlyFans, and they demand attention all the time. That's how OnlyFans works.
Remind me again, who are these zealots?
Alright, incoming sentence. I can sense it.
From my Only Zealots page. The website where I show my breasts at vulva.
Yep, there it is. Mm-hmm. Yep.
Oh yeah, that one.
Don't be scared, little mouse. You're acting like a mortal. It's just squishy parts, we all have them. They're not special.
Oh, fair enough. I'm just not a very European vampire yet. So, these zealots, they take up a lot of your time?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and Caspian once again nails it. The whole point of OnlyFans, Only Zealots, is they are paying for you to interact with them. That's how the whole thing works.
Ugh, yes. It's frightfully bothersome. But they're ever so reliable. And someone has to go deal with my landlord and my computer upgrades. And go to prison for me if necessary.
Dang, it sounds to me like you're asking way too much of each other. This can't be healthy. Isn't there a better amount of interaction on these websites?
But I always know best when it comes to the internet. I have more followers than just about anyone, Little Mouse.
That's always right.
I think it's obvious you know what's effective for your picking up followers and getting them to do stuff for you. But I don't think anyone really knows how this thing works.
Truth. Nobody knows how the algorithm works. Nobody.
You can't have all the answers. The answers are always changing. You said it yourself. You've already been through one internet. Who's to say how long this one will last?
Well, that's worse then. That means that I have to have lots and lots and lots of followers in case this internet goes away.
Well, let's say that's true, and I don't think it is. It just means you gotta be adaptable, right? Cunning like a fox.
I suppose that's true. Maybe there are other ways of doing the internet. But even that sounds like more work.
Yeah, you raise an interesting point, Evil Intent. She has all this money, all these followers, and she rents. She doesn't actually own her own place. Though then again, she did say earlier that she lives in the city, so maybe it's something where she just can't. She just can't because of where she lives.
There's something more, though, about the internet and how it works. It's a secret, though. Can you keep a secret, Little Mouse?
Squeak, squeak.
Nothing you say leaves this room.
Well, the secret is that the internet is changing. Because of me.
Okay, that is, we didn't bring the right thing for it, but, I don't think that's the thing, Meddy.
How do you mean?
I discovered something. Do you know how I told you that the internet used to be a nice way to meet people who thought the way I did?
Uh-huh.
Well, yeah, I think I got that.
Well, something there in the darkness is helping me. It makes people think they know me and want to follow me and be close to me even if they wouldn't normally like me. It has been watching everything the mortals have been doing for a long time, and it remembers all of it, no matter how big or small.
Where are you going with this, Meddy?
It counts every second, it remembers every click, it can tell you what you want before you even know it.
Well, you gotta be kidding me. Is this some kind of elder vampire?
I don't know, but it's growing very quickly. I learned how to speak with it.
Yeah, is she gonna say AI? Is she gonna make a joke about the algorithm?
It calls itself the algorithm. And it's hungry, even hungrier than we are.
Yep, there you go. The algorithm is now personified in the universe, which honestly does not surprise me.
It's the creature that told all those mortals to follow me in the first place. It decides what and how much content I need to make. It's probably listening to us right now. It says, I told you, darkness is always listening.
Meddy, if what you're saying is true, I think this is some really dangerous shit. This algorithm sounds like it's trying to turn humanity into a big formula.
I mean, that is indeed the purpose of the algorithm, is to get you to keep scrolling, keep clicking, and keep interacting. So, yeah, that is kind of the purpose of the algorithm. And yeah, the fact that the algorithm has become sentient in a world of vampires and magic doesn't actually sound that far-fetched. Not at all. Though the question is it going to become Skynet, or is it going to become like iRobot level of control is the question.
But it's doing it. What if all mortals really are just the same?
What if all mortals are really just the same? Well, it's not labeling. Oh, it's not Skynet, it's Skynut. Oh, I get it now. Yeah, I get it. It could be closer to the Matrix. Digital Cthulhu. That would be interesting. But let me see here. This isn't should. This isn't labeling. This isn't always right. What if mortals are just the same? I think this is an overgeneralization again.
Meddy, I don't think that's true. You said it yourself. People used to find each other because of their similarities, right? Now this algorithm, I don't think it's proven humanity is all the same. I think it's trying to push humanity all in one direction. It's trying to make them all the same.
But why would it want to do that?
I don't know. I just got a bad feeling about this.
Didn't you say that feelings don't make something real?
Fair play. You know what? Fair play, Meddy.
I know. I don't know. I think I don't know enough to say yet. Maybe. But Meddy, one thing I am sure of is that this algorithm thing is hurting you. It's telling you what content to make. Who the hell is it anyway? I gotta ask you to think about what you want. Pretend there ain't no zealots and there ain't no fans. What would you be doing if they weren't around?
Are you alright, little mouse? You're going quite pale, which is impressive for a vampire. I don't wish to worry you.
Yeah, I'm fine. Just tell me you're gonna do something for you this month.
Well, I used to make my own clothing. I could try to do that if it would make you feel better, my sweet little rodent.
We've been upgraded from mouse to little rodent. Squeak, squeak, squeak.
What'd make me happy, Meddy, is you doing something just for you. Does that sound good?
Alright, I'll try then. I will see you next month.
Of course. You take care of yourself. I'll be looking forward to seeing what you've sewed up next time.
Oh, so Instigator. She immediately started calling us pet names in her first session, and she settled on mouse. She settled on mouse.
Then, farewell, little mouse. I hope you find a nice hole to scurry into.
Hey, did you get that stuff about the algorithm? You ever heard about anything like it?
Oh, hey, we got an achievement. Flawless victory. Had a flawless client session. Nice. We got an achievement. Nice.
I am not eager to reveal such things to you, but there are sleeping terrors that could certainly consume us if we are unlucky enough for them to awaken.
Okay, so Andy knows about the algorithm.
But this, no. I am not aware of any such creature.
Never mind. He doesn't know about the algorithm, but he knows about sleeping things that should stay sleeping. Okay.
What Meddy described, a creature that takes note of every small change in nature, sounds like a force of nature itself. I will make inquiries. Do not fear, Samuel. Even if such a beast truly exists, it cannot change our nature, as long as we are true to ourselves. This only proves how important our work is, does it not?
Yeah, you're right. I guess I got a little spooked, but we'll be fine.
You know what might make you feel better? Dancing.
No, we're not dancing, Andy. No.
I ain't that shook up, Andy. Maybe I'll go down and get me a drink, though.
I will not probe, though I am curious about your aversion to dancing. When you are ready to speak of it, I am here.
You're gonna be waiting a while, boss.
At least Sam is honest.
As long as it is less than eternity, I will be here.
Okay, you go do your wise old vampire wizard thing, and I'll go drink some blood. I'll see you later, Andy.
Rest in peace, Samuel.
Sure, Luffy, hello. You want to believe in Infinity's elf? Elf loves us.
Another night, another soul canceled.
Sam spent the 80s line dancing and the horror still lives with him. That would be amazing if that was the case, Caspian, where, you know, Sam just got tired of doing the electric slide and the boot scoot and boogie and everything like that. And he's just like, I'm done. I'm not doing this ever again.
Can't believe someone as old as Meddy's letting anyone control her. I guess some problems don't disappear no matter how old we get. Well, time to get some bartender wisdom. Howdy, Crimson. Think you could whip me up one of them bloody steves?
Bark. Bark, bark.
Sure thing, cowboy. Tough night at the office.
Oh, just got some of them existential questions lingering on my mind.
Don't we all, Sam?
Can you believe someone can be 1,800 years old and still let society tell them what to do?
I can believe it. Folks can get real uncomfortable when someone shows up and does things differently.
Oh, no kidding, my client's a weird one, but I think that's what makes her special. Just wish she saw it the same way.
So, Lord Exile, Crimson is not a vampire or a werewolf. She is Andy's blood partner. So, in World of Darkness terms, Crimson is basically a ghoul. But we've kind of been hinted at that ghouls don't work the same way in this setting as they do in World of Darkness. So, you know. And yes, Caspian, you have it. We're squeak squeak for Meddy and bark bark for Crimson. So, you know.
Think you're making some headway, Chief? How's your session go?
My session went great.
I'm getting somewhere with her, slowly but surely. She does a lot for other people, but not a lot for herself. Now that makes her real popular, but I think she's realizing that popularity ain't what it's cracked up to be. She's got her own strengths, and I hope she'll lean on them.
You're a rare one, Sam. I get where she's coming from. Lawyers like rules, even about lawyering. My colleagues didn't care much for my style, so I had to adapt. But they'd get so bogged down in doing something right that they'd stop getting anything done.
Yep, that sounds like lawyering.
How do you like to do things then?
I told you how case law is my thing, right? Well, I studied the worst cases. The ones where injustice prevailed because some corrupt judge invoked some ancient precedent. I used their tools against them, made them look like fools. What goes around comes around, right?
No, he's not really breaking the patient confidentiality. He's never really mentioned anything we said in therapy to Crimson. So he's okay. He's not breaking the confidentiality.
And your colleagues weren't into that?
Hell no. No one was gonna listen unless I was polite and civil. But power never listens to polite and civil.
You got that right. Well, that's a shame, Crimson. Sounds like they lost a hell of a lawyer.
They sure did. Now, I got that drink for you. Sorry, no Bloody Steves this time. This one's a Gunther.
A Gunther. I knew a Gunther once.
I'm sure I'll love it. I'll take it up to my coffin for a day cap. You have a good night, Crimson.
You too, cowboy.
Ah, there we go. Nice and cozy. Now, let's see. I can read Emerson. I think he's got a piece that'll help me reflect on the night. Or I could watch Charlie Chaplin make lawmen look like fools.
We're gonna read Emerson.
I'm always grateful to my transcendentalist family for introducing me to Emerson. I think there's a passage about being a nonconformist in self-reliance.
And yeah, Lord Exile, we've been in this guest coffin for the better part of, I guess technically in character it would have been 3-4 months at this point. So we've made this extremely comfy.
Whoso would be a man must be a nonconformist. He who would gather immortal palms must not be hindered by the name of goodness, but must explore it if it be goodness. Nothing is at last sacred but the integrity of your own mind. Absolve you to yourself, and you shall have the suffrage of the world.
In other words, if you pursue good too hard, you lose your way, but if you follow your own path, you might find the good in it. At least that's what I get out of this.
I like that. Exploring is its own goodness. I learned that lesson hard in my quiet years. Just observing the world taught me more than all my years of living. With 1,800 years, who knows what good Meddy's found.
Why do people have so many cushions and pillows? 'Cause it's comfy. Also makes for great pillow fights.
Well, I think that'll do it for me tonight. Time for some shut-eye. Think I've got some tough battles ahead.
There he is, Samuel Walls, vampire therapist extraordinaire. How are you feeling tonight?
I'm feeling pretty good.
Oh, come on, Andy. I'm keeping my hat on, but that don't make me an ace therapist.
No, but your progress with your clients does. I must confess, I think you are a more fitting therapist than I am. Your clients are quickly comfortable with you. I believe my clients are afraid of disappointing me.
I mean, I guess I can see where that makes sense. I ain't too keen to disappoint you either. You always make that face.
What face is this now?
That face, Andy. That face.
Never mind.
I'm teasing you, Samuel. I understand. It can be difficult to relate to a 3,000-year-old being. But let us not spend our time talking about me. I am more curious about you. Let us start with some meditation, and we will see what arises for you.
All right, YouTube, we'll be back in a moment because I got to play the meditation minigame. So, see you in a moment, YouTube.
Remember your place of comfort, my friend, and remember to breathe.
Oh, I got to get my controller. Hold on. Hold on. Okay. All right.
Life just ain't fair. There once was a man named John Muir. Maybe I should start a farm or something. Not Isabella. Her blood tastes real fine. Wonder whether I can rent a horse. The bastards are unstoppable now. I deserve to be punished for what I've done. Ain't right they don't let dead folk vote. Wonder what's going on back home. Hope Reinhard doesn't try to teach me more German. Crimson's real cute when she scrunches
This
her.
is actually going way better than
real bad
they
boy.
must have pushed an update that fixes
Wonder how
this.
Edmund's doing.
I've been a real bad boy. Good job, Sam.
Are you feeling better, my friend?
Hey, we actually got perfect. You know what, YouTube? I think we're going to leave that in. I think we're going to leave that in because that was a perfect meditation sequence, and that actually worked as intended. So they must have pushed as part of the update they pushed out. They must have fixed that because it didn't used to work as well as that did there.
Yeah, I think I'm more in tune with my own thoughts these days.
I am delighted to hear it. What sorts of things came up for you?
Oh, you know what? You know what I'm just realizing? We only have disqualifying the positives, so we're going to get more label or more cognitive distortions to play with here.
After our last session, I can't help but think about my criminal past and how I was pointing fingers everywhere but at myself. The universe dealt me a bad hand, but I played that hand poorly. I got abused, and then I abused other folk. I guess that's only fair, so yeah, I can feel bad, but maybe the universe was just evening itself out.
Ah, karma.
Aha. Samuel, I know that when we both have suffered and caused suffering, it is tempting to blame the fates. But this is dangerous, a sort of cosmic control fallacy. If we expect that fate will reward and punish fairly, we are bound to be disappointed. We are immortals, Samuel. We live long enough to see old grudges die, and the judgments of our generation replaced by another.
So that's interesting. So they actually did a completely different voice line there. They've done that a few times, but that's probably the biggest example of a different voice line.
So in the grand scale of time, how can any judge fairness?
Dang, that's a real good point, Andy. But a depressing one, honestly. I was never a man of faith, but walking in them woods for so long, seeing so much nature, so much life and death.
Yeah, Sam is way more chilled than Andy, but that's why people trust Sam more than they trust Andy.
I started to feel a kind of flow to the universe, you know?
I understand, Samuel. I am not suggesting that you deny any kind of spiritual faith you may have. It is fairness that is the fallacy. If we cannot define fairness, we certainly cannot expect it.
So what's the distortion going to be?
Yeah, I think I see what you mean. Dang, another cognitive distortion, huh?
No one ever said being human was easy. Yes, this distortion is called the fairness fallacy by mortal psychologists.
The fairness fallacy. Okay.
Let me give you a few statements that might have examples of the fairness fallacy, and you try to find them.
Okay.
I work hard to ensure my club is dope because I believe in earning my good reputation.
All right, let's actually consult our book here and see what they have to say here. You know these folks who say I work hard so I deserve to get what I want. Well, just you thinking you deserve something don't mean the universe will reward you. Truth is, your definition of fair is personal, and it'll often conflict with other people's definitions. It's a fairness fallacy to assume our picture of what's fair is the only reasonable outcome. Okay. Yeah, I think the answer here is that it's very similar to emotional reasoning, but okay, I think I understand what they're looking for here. Let me see. My club is dope because I believe in earning my good reputation. I don't think that's fairness fallacy.
Hey man, like, maybe it's good karma and maybe it isn't, but I just like to put out some positive vibes.
That is terrifying, Andy, but that's a fairness fallacy.
Well, dang, Andy. I didn't know you could do voices.
It is not a fairness fallacy.
I like to break it out at vampire parties.
Well, that didn't hide the fairness fallacy, though, surfer partner. You're expecting some kind of reward for being good.
I spoke of putting out good vibes for its own sake, not expecting anything to come from it. Specificity is important, Samuel. That is why we are doing this exercise. Let us continue.
All right, well, we already had an example. Interesting.
The great vampire banker Count Van Gelder has been an entitled prick for 6 centuries. It's only a matter of time before he gets what's coming to him.
That is fairness.
I think I heard of this fella. He was one of them vampires pulling the inflation strings during that coronavirus thing, right?
Oh, interesting.
They say he caused the Great Depression back home, too. You're right that he's acting like a prick, but the universe ain't accidentally gonna make him fall on a wooden stake.
You are correct. This is a fairness fallacy and a bit of wishful thinking.
I'm surprised that, Andy, you're 3,000 years old and this other guy's only 600. Why haven't you dealt with them?
You really don't like this fella, huh, Andy?
He is a 600-year-old investment banker. He's tried to summon demons, and even they refuse to spend time with him.
I think that says all we need to say about bankers in general.
Yeah, and he's ugly, too.
Let us not descend to his level, Samuel.
Oh, sorry.
For you would never reach the bottom. Why bother being kind to mortals? The universe only punishes kindness.
That's a fairness fallacy.
The universe punishes kindness? Well, that ain't nothing you can know, boss. Sounds like a fairness fallacy to me.
Indeed, Samuel. It's the sort of thing a more nihilistic vampire might say, but such nihilism is not founded in objective reality.
See, it's funny you say that because I'm a fan of nihilism, and sometimes nihilism is founded. It definitely, depending... How do I want to say this? Because it's a very complicated thing, because I'm writing a book that is all about nihilism right now. It's something where nihilism is, if you do it right, you know, people understand where the nihilistic viewpoint comes from. But if you just drop nihilism into a story and just say, oh, everything sucks, nothing will ever matter, then people are like, yeah, that's not objective reality. But if you show that it's objective and not subjective, then that's how you do nihilism better, or perhaps the best way to do it.
And nihilistic vampires are real downers at parties. At the last Blood Drinkers Ball, I ended up at the same table as Ayn Rand.
Hold on, Ayn Rand is a vampire? Okay.
I cannot imagine who decided to offer her immortality. That was my longest night in thousands of years. But well spotted, Samuel.
Just gonna toss that out there, alright.
I got all the fairness fallacies, right?
Indeed you did, Samuel. You are most adept at tracking down cognitive distortions.
Alright, well, you're gonna give us 3 more. I can sense it.
I got a good tracking nose, I'll tell you that. I can't tell you the incredible things I learned just being in nature for so long.
Yes, you speak quite highly of this time. This is where you discovered the concept of cognitive distortions, and you said something about a flow to the universe?
Oh, yeah, that. I don't know, Andy. Something about seeing so much life and death and rebirth. I think it made me start to look at things differently.
It sounds as though it was a spiritual experience for you, Samuel.
I think it was, too. My buddy John, he showed me the way. John Muir, you probably know who he is.
Yes, of course, the American naturalist. He made the entire United States agree that its nature was beautiful and worth protecting.
That's John, all right. I used to call him Johnny Christ because of the way he could make you believe.
That is a heck of a nickname.
He didn't like that too much, but he had a way of making people think differently.
How did you meet?
By the late 1800s, my hippie friends moved west. John, he was their hero. He walked and thought, and no modern comforts. We got along well. He liked that I never got tired. We usually walked in silence, appreciating nature. He'd draw, I'd write. I think it was the first man I fell in love with. I was still a young vampire then, not even a century old, thinking I was straight.
Yes. As I think we've established with pretty much every vampire we've seen so far in this setting, you start off and then you become bi, and then suddenly you're pan, and then suddenly you're omni. So, you know.
Most of us need a good 100 years before we are ready to open Pandora's underwear drawer.
I feel like Pandora would have issue with that, but what do I know?
Yeah, about that.
We're gonna do all of these. We're doing all these. Let's delve into Andy a little bit. When did you start exploring?
How long did it take you to branch out?
Oh, Samuel, death had little effect on my sexuality. I am from another era. Do you remember the 1970s? They were nothing compared to the 970s BC.
Okay.
The stories I could tell you. One night, my friend Heraclos and I snuck into the...
I was just thinking about the time.
I'm joking, Samuel. Such a thing is not for a therapist to share in a session. I just wanted to tease the American a little.
Well, I think you're being real mean. Sorry. That's what I used to say to Princess when she was being naughty.
I am honored to share the space in your mind occupied by your beloved horse.
Well, why are we so sexy anyway, Andy? I mean, why? Why is this a thing?
Why are we such sexy beasts anyway, Andy? Seems even the mortals know what we're like.
We are powerful, immortal beings. Our capacity to explore is something no mortal can dream of, as is our capacity to be bored. Dr. Drayne might say that we have dopamine cravings that become harder to satisfy over time, and that might well be true.
Wait, so the older we get, the hornier we get?
Yeah, that's how it works in general.
You have an interesting future ahead of you, my friend. We'll make an international of you yet.
Are there any straight vampires? I mean, there has to be some, right?
I've been wondering, are there older straight vampires out there?
No. Sexual exclusivity of any sort seems incompatible with immortality.
Huh. Yeah. Welcome, Tigdam, welcome. So, I guess we're establishing that vampires are all pan or omni. Alright.
There is a group of vampires out in Washington who claim to be straight, but they are not fooling anyone.
Well, that's enough of that.
Oh, that's my curiosity satisfied. But speaking of which, I was talking about John. I fell for him hard. He wasn't into me like that, though. I don't think his wife got much from him, neither. That man was married to Mother Nature. Oh, but he was good company. I helped him map the West by sharing what I'd seen at night. I offered him my blood, but he was offended at that. He valued death and pitied my immortality. He just liked things as they were.
I wish I had met him. His mindset aligns with accepting things without judgment, as we explore in therapy.
He was an incredible fella. When he told me, Sam, I'm gonna get Teddy Roosevelt to make a law protecting all this, I believed him. Before he died, he urged me never to forget the earth. But I got busy roaming and didn't notice the wilderness shrinking. My old gang tracked me down and drove me to you. If I can't help them see another way of living, they'll destroy this planet.
How is a group of gangsters going to destroy the planet?
That is a good question.
Right. Well, the mystic bastards are doing more than robbing banks and holding up trains these days. They got organized. And now they're called Sanguinius Health. They're a health insurance company, draining folks of their blood, money, and hope.
Oh, so they're healthcare providers. They're health insurance. Somehow, I'm not surprised.
Well, they're big now, too. Real big. Got friends in high places in the mortal world. Nobody knows they're vampires.
I was not aware of this company.
Well, they're good at keeping secrets. Even in the 1800s, we had a code language. They'd bring on the Infinite Dawn if it made them money. If I can't stop them, they surely will.
This sounds serious, but remember to not let your fears distort your thoughts. When we foresee only a negative end to a complex situation, this is called catastrophizing. Another extreme that colors our thinking.
Catastrophizing. That is a word.
Meaning, maybe things are rough, but I can't see every angle, right?
Yes, exactly. This is not to say your worries are overblown, but being able to imagine varied futures is useful in our decision-making.
How to break the law by practicing medicine without breaking the law. Health insurance providers. Yep. Yep.
Let me give you an exercise so you can identify catastrophizing. I always make sure I keep my coffin key with me when I go to sleep. It would be embarrassing to be trapped in my coffin.
Let's consult our handy-dandy notebook. Alright, catastrophizing. As vampires, we can imagine the worst outcome to any situation because we've seen some real shit, but expecting disaster from the smallest issues ain't being honest with reality. Catastrophizing keeps us locked in fear of doom, but we can break out of it if we keep our cool. Okay. So that's not catastrophizing.
I sent my friend Bazul the Bloodborne a funny cat video, but he left it on red. He is surely plotting my demise.
That is catastrophizing.
That sounds like a pretty strong assumption to make. Maybe Bazul the Bloodborne was busy doing a puzzle, or knitting a cape or something.
Also, we just got an achievement. We found one of every cognitive distortion, which means actually we're only going to get these two. Interesting.
You are so wholesome, Samuel. I think I know what Bazul was doing, and it was not knitting. It could have been countless things, so you are correct. It is unlikely that he has left me unread out of malice. It was a really good cat video, though. I will send it to you later.
Yes, we're getting cat videos. Yes.
Oh, you never responded to that funny video I sent you of the horse pretending not to like carrots. That was a good one, huh?
Oh, I will have to remember to examine it later.
Andy's going to leave us on red.
I don't think he watches any of my horse videos.
No, he doesn't, Sam.
I saw a rat in my club the other night. The health inspector will certainly shut us down and expose me as a vampire.
That is catastrophizing.
I don't think one rat showing up at your club is going to make the health inspector take you down, boss. I mean, the rats were some of the cleanest things at a few saloons I've been to.
Also, Mukis, hello, welcome on in.
You are correct. That was some clear catastrophizing. I have not seen a rat here ever since I hired Bert.
Ah, yes, the Nosferatu.
I can't say I ain't had a rat-eating phase myself.
No, he doesn't eat them, he talks to them.
Oh no, Bert eats everything. He's kind of like a vampire goat. I do not know how he does it.
Oh, never mind.
I guess Bert could eat the health inspector, too.
I think they know better than to get too close. Oh no, I am trapped outside during the day, and it is the middle of summer. I shall burn to ashes.
Is this catastrophizing? No, I don't think it is. Although, hold on. Let me also Kern. Hello, welcome on in. Let me look at the examples here. So here's the key word here. It keeps us locked in fear of our doom, but we can break out of it if we keep our cool. So I think this is catastrophizing.
Oh, it ain't like that, boss.
Oh, it's
Getting
not.
trapped outside on a sunny day ain't gonna turn you to ashes.
How long have you been a vampire, Samuel?
220 years?
Do not stand in the sun, Samuel.
Yes, sir.
When I DJ downstairs, I must ensure that I do not wait too long to drop the beat, or my patrons will think I am a terrible club owner and leave.
Alright, that definitely sounds like it.
I don't know, boss. I don't think anyone's gonna get all that worked up about dropping a beat. That's gotta be catastrophizing.
You are correct, Samuel. I am sure they will forgive me. Though, I do not let the beat drop too late or too early, but precisely when I mean to.
Ah, so you are a wizard then. You drop the beat precisely when you are meant to. Okay.
All right there, Gandalf.
Thank you, Sam.
Who is Gandalf?
Oh my god, Andy, you don't know Lord of the Rings? What are you doing?
Never mind. I think I get what catastrophizing is now. It's just hard to see other angles when I see how powerful my ex-gang's gotten, you know? But I know them. Well, they're just like I was. Maybe they've gotten better at being evil, but I get where it comes from now. That's why I feel this responsibility to help them. Now, I know that's a control fallacy. Maybe I can't help them, but I do want to try.
Wanting to guide them out of the darkness is not a cognitive distortion, Samuel. It is a noble aim, truly.
I'm just not sure I can do anything. I'd probably just make them worse.
That also sounds like a distortion, Sam. That sounds like Nos thinking.
That sounds like catastrophizing to me, Samuel.
Or catastrophizing. What do I know?
I believe that you will help some and be unable to help others, or some may not be ready to be helped.
I reckon you're right. I gotta take things as they come. Just follow that flow of nature.
You are doing exceptionally well, Samuel. I have seen your clients slowly changing the way they look at themselves.
Yeah, this is definitely a game, Evil Intent, where, I always sit there going, oh, well, this is funny, but then when I'm off stream, I'm like, you know what? They raised excellent points. And again, this is, if Gray Matter is still here, this is a beautiful example of how to teach a concept and to make you actually think about what the game is saying. And sure, they dress it up with humor and good characters, but this is, at least in my opinion, this is one of the best examples of learning by gaming.
I don't know, Andy. Seems like there's a lot of work to do.
There always is. That we will have work to do is one of the few things we can truly expect.
Well, I surely hope things keep going well.
I am not a man of faith, Samuel, but I do have faith in you.
Well, that's high praise coming from Andy.
Oh, gosh.
Come, let us wind down together. Perhaps you'd like to play Settlers of Wallachia with me?
Hold on. It's not Settlers of Catan, it's Settlers of Wallachia. I'm okay with this. You know what? I'm actually okay with this.
That sounds like the kind of quiet evening I'm looking for.
Come then. I will set up the board.
Aw, we don't actually get to play Settlers of Wallachia. That would have been amazing if that was a little mini game.
Good evening, Samuel. I hope we are feeling good about tonight.
Yes, I'm interested to see what Drayne's got going on.
Honestly, yeah. I think Dr. Drayne's starting to accept himself. That's what this is all about, ain't it?
Indeed, Samuel. There will always be room for self-improvement, of course. None of us are perfect, and none of us are irredeemable.
I reckon so. Whoever shows up tonight, I'll give him that same benefit of the doubt.
You are a wonder, my dear. What distortions do you think you'll focus on tonight?
Yeah, this is the question. Is it going to be Drayne, or is it going to be Lord Lourdes? Well, let's see. I think we're just going to take our usual 2 for him. So we're going to take disqualifying and labeling. Now the question is, do we take catastrophizing? Or do we take control fallacy? Let us take... Oh, you know what? Always right for him. He does always pretend that he's right. And then... Yeah, let's take our new one. Let's take catastrophizing. Why not? So disqualifying the positive, labeling, always right, and catastrophizing. In addition to shoulds. Yeah, he is definitely constantly freaking out.
I think these are the ones that are likely to come up.
They all do, one way or another. We are wildly irrational beings, my friend. But I will leave you to Dr. Drayne.
All right, I think I'm ready. Here it comes. Hello, darling. Miss me?
Oh no. Oh no, it's him. Alright, well, are we gonna pull the gun, is the question.
Oh boy. Look, are we gonna have a civilized meeting this time, or are you gonna break them fangs out? I'm going to do exactly what I want to do. And you know what? You're going to love it, American. So lay your cares and your underpants at the door, because Lord Lourdes is here to take you away.
I feel like a gun is coming out very soon.
I guess Dr. Drayne's back on the stuff again. Why don't you ask the little worm yourself? Oh, Doctor, your master summons you.
Hello, Sam.
Oh. Oh. So he can control it at will now. That's actually pretty good.
Doc, what's going on here? Why is Lord Luridus calling himself your master?
Because that's what he is. You've helped me accept that, curse you.
Whoa there, compadre. How did I help you accept Lord Luridus as your master? That weren't ever a thing I encouraged.
You were correct. I was approaching my issue unscientifically. I thought I could restrain him forever, but I was suppressing my vampiric needs. I had to accept the scientific truth. I am not nature's master. Nature is the master of all. To fight that reality is folly.
That seems like always right to me.
Now hold on there, cowpoke. That's some extreme thinking there. I'm no scientist, but ain't finding nature as natural as nature itself?
Yeah, I kind of want to see if he's going to actually become something like the Hulk, at least in recent Marvel.
You're just babbling now.
Are we, Drayne?
I ain't. Isn't fighting nature where we all come from? Why we walked out of the sea in the first place? Why anything lives?
Evolution is the inevitable result of a species' fight for survival. Those best adapted to their environments thrive, and those who do not, die. It is not done with intent.
Yeah, but them species are fighting nature, ain't they? And the fighting's what makes them what they are.
A simplistic interpretation, though I suppose not inaccurate. But still, I realized that I was suppressing a great part of myself. I did as you instructed, you know.
So you drank blood?
I drank blood. Real blood. And it was incredible. I had forgotten how it was not just the taste that made one feel satisfied. It's the feeling of life that it infuses in the body. I felt strong, confident, above the petty worries and squabbles that come with mortality. I felt like a vampire, like the base creature that I truly am. What choice had I but to welcome the truth? I am a slave to my nature.
That would have been a control fallacy if we had brought it.
So you see, I am his master. I always have been, and I always will be. Just as I told you, therapist. The same dark master lies within you. You know this, don't you? I can see him behind your eyes. Oh yes, you cannot hide him from me. You cannot hide the blood, the screaming, the power you felt when you stripped the life and dignity from those pathetic mortals. I know your thoughts, my leather-bound friend. I know what you crave. Lie back, and I will give it to you.
Gun?
You poor, pathetic creature. You cannot even accept my gifts, can you? You wear the American flag as your chastity cage.
Gun.
You know, I think I'll pick up one of those at the sex shop on the way home. I wouldn't want the dear doctor using my beloved equipment.
You really think you can dominate him completely? That's a control fallacy, amigo. Dr. Drayne tried to shut you out and couldn't. You can't shut him out either.
I don't need to shut him out any longer, naive fool. He has accepted that I am his true nature, and that I will always know what is best for him.
That's always right again.
Well, that's another distortion, Luridus. You always know what's best for Dr. Drayne? Bullshit. You got a one-track mind and it's headed right for a stick in the heart.
So let me get this straight. My mind is a train, yes? And it will receive a stake in its heart?
Oh, now you're just being nitpicky with my words. You know what I'm saying. You can't think of anything but blood and sex. You don't know what's best for Dr. Drayne.
And I suppose you know what's best for him, American. I suppose it's faith in the good Lord Jesus Christ and the cold caress of a gun.
I mean... Okay. You know what? I'm not going to comment on this one.
I know enough to know I don't have all the answers.
Oh, bravo! Thank you for enlightening me. What an inspiring genius you are.
Look, put Dr. Drayne back on. I want to get his take on all this.
But of course. Talk to him all you like. He's a good boy now and knows what's best for him.
Doc, what's going on here? This ain't you. You're maybe the most motivated fella I ever met. Lord Luridus ain't who you are.
Don't you see, Sam? He is who I am. When I drank that real blood again, I knew it. I felt him. Every time I indulge, he will take over.
So that's catastrophizing.
Look, Doc, you're going to the most extreme consequences here. Thinking the worst is gonna happen every time you drink blood ain't too scientific. Maybe you ain't got your intake right yet. Or maybe getting a bit more satisfaction will make Lourdes less, desperate.
Desperate is indeed a word to use for Lourdes.
Him showing up doesn't need to be the end, partner.
I suppose my horror at his presence is tainting my interpretation of the data. I shall endeavor to be a little more clear-headed. It's just... I wish that Lord Lourdes were not a natural outcome of my vampiric needs. It isn't fair. I have worked so hard to overcome our curse. Don't I deserve a better nature?
That's another fallacy we didn't bring with us.
Dang, that fella looks pretty down. What can I do?
Tell him a joke to clear things, to cheer him up, to give him some cowboy wisdom. Tell him things will be okay. Let's give him some cowboy wisdom.
Partner, I gotta pass on a little cowboy wisdom here. And that is, a horse is a horse. Of course, of course.
Good God. I think my brain just succumbed to age and rotted out of my head. If that is cowboy wisdom, I shudder to imagine what cowboy ignorance is.
I'm serious. Tell me, Doc, what is a horse?
Equus ferus caballus, an ungulate of the family Equidae. Herbivorous perissodactyls, they...
No, I didn't say classify a horse. I asked what is a horse.
What do you mean, what is a horse?
I'm asking just that. Don't describe it, just tell me, what's a horse?
What the hell are you saying? A horse is a horse!
There you go, you got it.
Of course.
I'm sorry, when is the sunrise today? I think I should like to meet it.
In-game. Drayne, you have to say in-game. You have to say in-game.
And what are you, Dr. Drayne?
I'm a vampire.
Congratulations, you admitted it.
And a vampire is a vampire.
Of course.
There you go, you're getting it.
So what would you tell a friend who's feeling bad about being a vampire?
I would tell them that it is ridiculous to feel bad about what they are.
Well, let's soften that up a little.
I would tell them there is no reason to feel bad about what they are.
So why don't you tell yourself that? You all right there, partner?
Just give me a moment. Dr. Drayne, there is no reason to feel bad about what you are.
He did it. He did it.
Yeehaw! Now that's what I'm talking about.
Please tell me you did not just yee-haw during my breakthrough.
We did. I'm sorry. I ruined the moment.
I couldn't help it. I'm proud of you, buckaroo.
Oh, yes. Dr. Drayne should be very proud of who he is. You forget, my little gun fetishist friend. I am Dr. Drayne. I am the truest part of him. And you have no idea what depravities I've been up to, what uncharted places I have explored with my tongue alone.
I mean, that's a sentence.
And it's all Dr. Drayne's fault. He made me feral.
So this isn't should. Labeling, maybe. It's not catastrophizing. So the question is this disqualifying the positive or always right? Let's try labeling.
You're hiding behind that feral labeling. You're using it as an excuse for the things you do, which is just how Dr. Drayne uses you. I ain't sure there's even a big difference between you two.
Oh, fuck off! I'm not Dr. Drayne. Dr. Drayne is me.
Okay, so I don't know if anybody caught that voice line, but Lord Lourdes speaks a certain way, and Dr. Drayne speaks a certain way, and what just happened was Lord Lourdes sounded like Dr. Drayne. It was a very subtle sound direction there.
You know why he loves it when I take over? Because it feels good. He knows that, because he feels that delicious blood euphoria. It is because that is what he is meant to feel. No, you unfuckable wretch. Dr. Drayne should not be proud of me.
No, you unfuckable wretch. I gotta use that as an insult. Just casually drop that out there and see what happens. That's a good one.
I'm sick. I'm twisted. I am a filthy motherfucker. Or I would be, if she weren't long dead. Actually, I wonder where old Mum is buried.
Okay. Is this labeling again? I think this is labeling again, and if not, it's disqualifying the positive.
I get what you're trying to do. You're trying to get Dr. Drayne to feel bad by using them labels. How's he ever gonna come to terms with you if you're making yourself so gross to deal with?
Oh, perhaps you're not as stupid as you look. That's exactly why I call myself those incredibly accurate names. That's why he fears me. That's why he will always be my slave. He cannot bear to be associated with me, and yet here I am. You know, he thinks his mother died of old age. But you know what I think? I think she died of shame, because she knew I was her real son all along.
That is an overreach.
Oh, admit it. You know what Dr. Drayne is. No matter how great a scientist he may be, Dr. Drayne is a creature of pure shame. That is the essence of his being. That is what makes me so strong.
So this could be labeling again, but... I wonder if this is disqualifying the positive. I'm gonna go with my gut. I'm gonna go with disqualifying the positive, and then we're gonna try labeling.
I ain't gonna deny our man Dr. Drayne is feeling a lot of shame, but that don't define him. He's lots of things. He's dang smart, incredibly knowledgeable fella. He's pretty funny sometimes. Got that real British type of humor. And he's real determined. I ain't never seen anyone work toward a goal like him. He's a hell of a lot more than shame.
Do you remember how I told you I didn't have a gag reflex?
I believe I might have been wrong.
Why, I believe you've inspired something in me. I can add a new sentiment to my feelings about your little doctor. Pity. Tisk, tisk, tisk. Such a shame. Now why must you deny the poor little worm? If he loves science as much as he pretends to, he knows that I am inevitable. He should give in to me.
I mean, that's easy.
It ain't up to you to decide what Dr. Drayne should or shouldn't do. All them shoulds were the thing that made him lock you up in the first place.
No, they literally read the tisk 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 tisk. Yup, they did.
They're what made him afraid and ashamed, because he was always thinking about what he should be or do.
Of course, they were his own creation, but he cannot help it. He knows in his heart that he should... Lord Luritus.
Drayne is back in control.
Did I give you permission to speak, my little worm? I don't need permission. I just wanted to tell you something. Oh, he wants to tell me something. Well, go ahead, darling. Tell me something. I shall remember it when I'm shagging a football fanatic in a dumpster. I accept you.
He did the thing! He did the thing! Good job, Drayne, you did the thing!
What do you mean you accept me? You cannot accept me. I am your nightmare made flesh. I am the reflection in the mirror you cannot see. Nevertheless, I accept you. I accept your bloodlust. I accept your violence. You accept my cock.
Oh, no. Yeah. Alright. Alright. Wasn't expecting that one.
Yes, I accept even that. I will not deny you any longer. But as you are me, I am you. I take responsibility for all your actions. I shall feed you and nourish you, and you shall live by the Hippocratic oath I have sworn. Dare you to try, you sniveling... No, I do not need to try. You and I are one. I know you. I accept you. And I love you all the same.
He also did the thing.
Curse you. Curse you both. You sicken me. You do not sicken me. I accept you. No. I accept you.
Oh, we're doing the Goodwill Hunting thing.
No!
He's his thing now. Look, okay, so look, very, very crucial detail here. His position's changed. He's smiling for once. Oh, I love it.
Dr. Drayne? Are you alright?
Yes, Sam. I am fine.
You look fine.
I feel fine. It is a very new feeling. I'm not sure I know what to do with it.
You enjoy it.
I can't believe I'm saying this, but do you want to go down and dance in the club?
Dance? Dance? Would I like to dance? Yes. Yes, I would like to dance. Let us dance.
I was hoping you wouldn't say yes, but let's go, partner.
Oh, we're gonna find out why Sam doesn't want to dance. Oh, are we actually going to dance?
Come on, Sam. Let us cut rugs.
I ain't much of a dancer.
Neither am I, but dancing is what I feel like doing.
I guess we're dancing then.
Now, what the hell am I looking at?
I don't know, Crimson.
Bert, you be nice. I guess that explains why Sam doesn't dance.
Crimson, most dear, have you seen Samuel? I usually check in with him after a session, but he has disappeared.
Check it out, Sugar Blood.
What is he doing?
I don't know, it's not dancing.
I think he's goth square dancing.
Goth square dancing.
So he is. We should not laugh.
Now circle right and do-si-do.
But then again, that is a should statement.
Oh, that is a beautiful way to end Dr. Drayne right there. That is amazing. And up next, we're going to see what Isabella's all about.
The master therapist once again enters his domain. Good evening, Samuel.
All right. Well, let's see what Isabella's got in store for us. Or Isabella, I should say.
Oh, come on, Andy. I'm just the right cowpoke in the right place at the right time.
A cowpoke who has a habit of disqualifying the positive.
Mm-hmm.
It is ungracious to deny a compliment, my dear. You are an excellent therapist and an inspiring dancer.
All right. That's enough of that.
You are seeing Senora Deste tonight, yes? How do you feel about her progress?
She's come a long way.
I don't know. That lady can really hold some grudges. I think she's starting to think about herself a little more, though.
An ancient grudge is a difficult thing to forget. It can become a part of one's very identity.
So the only thing I'm curious about since I missed the beginning of the game, how did a cowboy become a therapist? So Sam here was your typical cowboy vampire. Then he went and basically got picked up by some transcendentalists, and that sort of opened his mind, and then he kind of wandered in the woods for a while, and then he got to V-mailing Andy here, and yeah, he just sort of started to want to help people and, you know, be a better person. So that's the quick and dirty version of it anyway.
Vlad Tepes only became Dracula because he was obsessed with the Turks, remember?
Yeah, I don't think the Senora's that far gone.
Do you feel you are prepared for whatever distortions she might bring today?
Well, let me think about that.
All right, well, let's see. Let's take labeling. Let's take always right. I think we're going to take catastrophizing. And then do we bring Nos thinking? Yeah, let's bring Nos thinking. Why not? And away we go.
All right, filled my chamber. I'm ready to go.
I don't remember people being like this about crossbows.
Well, you can take the cowboy out of the West, but you can't take the West out of the cowboy.
So it would seem. Well, good luck tonight, Samuel. I will leave you to it.
All right, deep breath, Sammy boy. Here she comes. Unedited, Senora.
That's not how you say any of that, Sam.
What?
It's Italian. I thought I'd learn how to say hello to you properly. Unedited.
No.
No. No, I cannot repeat it. I appreciate your attempt to speak in my language, but please do not attempt to do so again. Good evening. We'll do fine.
Good evening, Senora.
I apologize. I am feeling delicate tonight.
Did you paint the centaur like we asked?
What's going on, Senora?
The realization that I am merely a repulsive, angry old woman becomes disappointingly clear. It weighs upon me in more than one way.
Well, that's labeling.
Whoa there, Senora. What's with the labeling? You think calling yourself names is gonna make you feel better?
No, but perhaps it will help me accept reality, as you have been encouraging me to do.
I never said anything about calling yourself nasty names.
I am repulsive, I am angry, and I am old. They are not names, they are hard truths.
It's looking at yourself in unkind ways, that's what it is. This can't be coming from nowhere, Senora. What's the deal? Last time we were talking, you seemed to be feeling pretty good.
She didn't paint her centaur, or she didn't like what she painted.
You want to know why I am disgusted with myself? Here, look.
Whoa, hello there.
Yeah, actually, you know what? That's a very nice centaur. I mean, you know, a standard dude with a staff, and nothing in this department down here, so that's a good sign. Yeah, this is serviceable. What's wrong with this, Signora?
I know. It is terrible.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
I wouldn't say that at all, Senora. In fact, I think it's beautiful. I can tell you put a lot of love into this thing.
It is an entirely juvenile effort. There is nothing redeemable about this rubbish.
That feels like NOS thinking. Though it could also be labeling. Let's try NOS thinking.
I think you're being a little harsh there, Senora. I ain't capable of drawing anything half that good. It's clear to me you got some sense of what you're doing. I think you're focusing on your weak spots when there's a lot of good here.
Per favore, look at his abdomen. What is that? It looks like an insect's thorax.
Well, you might have been a little indulgent with the abs, but there's nothing wrong with a little indulgence. I call it style.
And I call it trash.
Believe me, Senora, I know horses. You're a heck of an artist.
Then why do I feel nothing but shame when I look upon it? If I feel nothing but disgust, then it is disgusting.
Is that NOS thinking again? Or is it always right? If I feel nothing but disgust, then it is disgusting. I think this is NOS thinking again.
Senora, that's letting your gut make up reality. You look at this piece of art and see trash because that's how you're feeling. How come I don't think it's trash?
Oh, dear Sam. I mean this in the kindest way I can, but you are an asino.
Oh, okay.
I'm guessing that ain't a good thing.
It is a donkey.
Ah, good. I'm an ass.
Well, that don't seem too kind to me. My opinions don't count.
In this case, no, because I am never wrong about art.
Well, that's easy. That's always right.
I gotta challenge you on that, Senora. Saying you're always right about art, that can't be true. Art is always changing. I've seen some European art from before your time that was supposed to be perfect, and dang, that baby Jesus always looks about 50.
And they had no sense of perspective. Barbarians.
Don't judge your art based on how you alone feel. Feelings ain't reality, and someone else is always gonna have another opinion.
You are indeed correct. But no one will see this insult to Chiron.
Now, what the heck did you go and do that for, Senora?
No, she ripped it up.
I did what one should do with garbage. It is better that the world never see such horrors.
Okay, hold on. Is this Nos thinking again? Yeah, it's Nos or catastrophizing. Let's try Nos. I mean, if it's Nos, it's the third one in the row, which is a new thing.
Senora, if you think there's nothing good about this piece, I think you need a vampire optometrist more than a vampire therapist. Yeah, maybe it ain't your idea of perfect, but heck, what is? If you want to see real horror, ask me to draw anything other than my gun. I mean, what are you really looking for here, Senora? You looking to bring this fella to life with your brush? You think if you don't produce something completely perfect, it's garbage?
Yes. I apply the same standards to myself as I do to everyone else. Leonardo da Vinci once painted an illustration of my city of Mantua for me. It was beautiful. Leonardo had a mastery over art that modern mortals will never understand.
And you're not wrong, Alex. It is not just empathy. This game is indeed a puzzle.
But it was full of imperfections. The shape of one of the windows was wrong. The clouds looked slightly unnatural.
And was that a bad thing?
I lit the painting on fire rather than let him embarrass himself. So why would I choose to embarrass myself?
Oh.
You lit a Leonardo da Vinci on fire?
I lit rubbish on fire. Da Vinci painted it, but it was still rubbish.
Dang, that fella must have been terrified of you.
He was, though he had no reason to be. All he had to do was be better. It had nothing to do with me.
Hey, Da Vinci, I know that, you're kind of important and all, but be better. Be better.
Senora, this need for perfection you've got, it ain't doing good things for you.
How can you say this? By demanding perfection, I improve the work of others. I improve the work of myself.
Well, maybe that's true, but you're doing something less useful.
And what is that?
You're limiting your dating opportunities. Hold on. I'm gonna save. Okay. We're gonna start with dating and then we'll do unrealistic standards. I gotta know.
You're limiting your dating opportunities. Nobody's perfect, Senora.
I did not condemn myself to immortality so that I could sleep around. Do you really think dating is my primary concern?
No, it's not, but we clicked it anyway.
Well, maybe not. But there's something else.
Okay, so that wasn't as amazing as I thought.
Senora, your standards are way too high. There ain't no way anyone can reach them.
So you keep saying. But there is nothing wrong with setting a high standard. The problem is the low standards of others. It is shameful to not strive for greatness. I will not tolerate your setting low standards. You will not disgrace my presence with shallow thoughts. Am I understood?
Yes, ma'am. No, wait, I meant to say...
Huh, so we're terrifying everyone, alright.
Senora, I gotta be honest here. You're terrifying everyone. You're terrifying your artists, your family, even yourself. Failure's a part of life. If imperfection's a mortal sin to you, ain't nobody gonna let you in on their imperfections. Not you, not your husband, and not your son neither.
Uh-oh, we used the sun card.
How dare you? How dare you lecture me, peasant?
Oh dear. Oh dear. Are we gonna have to pull our gun on her?
How dare you suggest that I was anything less than the perfect mother to my Federico?
Yep, we pulled the sun card and it was a mistake.
You worm! Ho sputato sulla tomba di tua madre! Vi maledico alle vele più profonde dell'inferno!
Which, if I can read between the lines, she's calling us a son of a bitch and that we will burn in hell.
Federico loved me. He knew that I knew what was best for him. Pull out your cognitive distortions now and I will tear your head from your neck.
I ain't never said Federico didn't love you. All I was saying was,
Zitto! Shut up, fool! You presume to tell me what I know. You, a common murderer! You who can barely speak your own language! I demanded perfection from my Federico so that he would not end up like his father, a degenerate leper whose penis hung by a thread of putrescent skin! I do not tolerate imperfection! Not from myself, not from this world, and not from my son!
I think we gotta get this right. Okay. Alright, so... This is not labeling. I don't think this is catastrophizing. I think this is always right. Or is it control? See, that's the thing. Is it could be control, it could be always right. Let's do control and then we'll do always right.
you know what, Senora? If you want to have that kind of control, you're gonna have it all by your lonesome. I'm trying to help you, and you're screaming at me. Why? Because you can't stand being wrong? If I'm too scared to talk to you, what the hell are we doing here? What do you want me to do, lie to you? I ain't gonna do that, Isabella d'Este. If you're looking for perfection, you're only gonna find liars, and that ain't me.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I know you are right. Oh, Federico, what have I done?
Hey, it's okay, Senora.
He barely spoke to me when he came back from the Vatican. Every time I asked him how he was, he would say, "I am fine, mother." Of course he knew better than to talk to me. His father never did. No doubt it was I who drove them into the brothels.
No doubt it was I who drove them into the brothels. It sounds like catastrophizing to me. Unless it's Nos thinking. Is it catastrophizing or Nos thinking? I think it's definitely more Kata, yeah. Because it's not control, I don't think. Let's try Kata, then Nos. Okay, it's not
Isabella
Kata.
is assuming her husband's decisions were entirely to do with her, but he was a human with his own mind, however flawed.
Okay, let's try Nos
Of course
then.
he knew
Okay, so it is
Isabella
control.
is assuming her husband.
I think that's simplifying things a little, Senora. Your boys made their own decisions. There probably were a lot of reasons they went to the brothels, but putting it all on yourself just ain't accurate. You couldn't read their minds or control their behaviors.
Perhaps not. But I am certain their whores did not criticize them as I did.
So wrong answers don't do anything bad. Yeah, there's no point system. There's nothing like that, Lord Exile. It's not like Phoenix Wright where there's, you can only get like 3 or 4 things wrong. This game is more about learning and solving the puzzle without making you feel like there's pressure. And that's probably why I enjoy it so much. Because there's not a whole lot of pressure that, sure, I miss out on like one achievement if I don't do a perfect run. But yeah, basically Andy, as we saw, comes in and gives us a hint, and then we try again, which is amazing.
I was only trying to make them demand better of themselves. Why did the world punish me for this? I read my Wikipedia page, It was full of lies and slander. No doubt this is how history remembers me, with slander I have earned.
That sounds like Nos thinking.
I don't think a single Wikipedia page is going to determine how humanity remembers you, Senora. You're one of the most interesting, intelligent people I've ever met, and I bet loads of historians out there would be eager to know the real you.
Let us hope they do not discover who I am. They would be terrified of me, as you so deftly pointed out.
So let's forgive them a few mistakes, huh?
I suppose I must.
I read that Wikipedia page too, Senora. And you know how I read it? The people are in awe of you. They call you the First Lady of the Renaissance,
This only proves that Machiavelli was right. That if one cannot be loved and feared, it is best to be feared.
I think you're a little too down on yourself today, Senora. But here's what I think of Isabella d'Este.
Oh. I think you look great. Okay, we gotta save again. Hold on. We gotta save. Hold on. I think honestly all of these are nice. But I'm gonna try I think you look great. Just because I want to see her reaction.
Pardon me for saying so, but I see why people were falling over themselves to paint you. You got grace and style such like I ain't never seen back home, not even at a fancy cotillion. Those ladies would probably kill to have your fashion sense.
Well, thank you for saying so, Sam. It is gratifying to know that my eye for fashion is noted. I certainly know how to wear a hat.
Well, that thing looks great on you. I doubt I could wear it half as well.
That is certainly true.
Oh, we're probably gonna go through all of these. All right.
You know what? You come off as pretty harsh. I think we can agree on that. But you're a caring person. You want the best for the people you care about, no matter how hard it is on you. You literally gave your life to care for your family.
No one has ever called me a caring person before.
Am I wrong? Going through death for family seems like you care a lot.
A little too much, perhaps.
I ain't gonna disagree with you there.
Yeah, we're gonna go through all of them. All right.
You're ambitious as hell. From what you told me, it sounds like being a woman in your time wasn't an easy thing. But you proved you were capable of anything, and people had to respect that. Hell, you even ran your own city. You're gutsier than any man I've ever known.
I am not sure I like this gutsy word very much, but I suppose I did well for my time.
Senora, you did well for any time, believe me. You are so dang smart, Senora. I don't think people these days get an education like yours, and you took it seriously. You know about art, music, philosophy, religion.
Of course, I know much about physics, biology, and mathematics as well. Do not think me simply a woman of the arts.
See what I mean? I'm only 200 some years old, and I think it's gonna take me another 200 to know half the stuff you know. You should be proud, Senora.
You have been so kind to me. Kinder than I have been to you.
You deserve kindness, and you deserve to give yourself some kindness too.
No one has ever spoken to me the way you do. I suppose I never allowed them to.
Well, I mean, yeah, we saw you in full mother destroying everything mode when we tried earlier, so maybe don't do that in the future.
Sam, I know I am old. I know I am difficult. But would you ever consider a woman such as I?
Yes, though only if you stop being my patient.
Senora, I'm here to help you on your personal journey. Let's not complicate that.
Of course. I am just being foolish. I am so used to people being afraid of me that, of course, I fall for the first person who is not.
Senora, I think if you can learn to give people a little room, they're gonna adore you.
What if they see me as weak if I am gentle? What if my bearing was the thing that earned me respect? I do not wish to be discarded and ignored like so many women of my time.
That sounds like catastrophizing.
Senora, I don't think anyone could discard and ignore you. You don't exactly fade into the background, you know. You're pulling back a little and letting people make their mistakes doesn't make you weak, and it definitely ain't gonna make them discard you. I'm a pretty gentle fella. You don't think I'm weak, do you?
No, I do not.
So don't go thinking you are, all right? I'm not saying you gotta be meek, Senora. I reckon that ain't in your nature. I'm just saying to start with compassion. People are doing their best out there, and they deserve your understanding when they ain't perfect. Same goes for you. Don't go ripping up your art because it ain't perfect. Nobody's expecting that from you or anyone, not even Da Vinci.
Yes, I suppose I must resign to the truth. I am powerless before inevitable imperfection. I suppose the Calvinists were right.
That's control fallacy.
Now don't go running in the opposite direction, Senora. That ambition comes from you. Not everyone's got it. So keep striving to be better, just Give yourself a little compassion when you don't meet those super high standards you got. And there ain't nothing wrong with holding other people to a high standard neither. We ain't gonna be gods, but it's good to have ideals.
I believe you are wiser than I, Samwalls. It is most humbling.
A slow horse who can still get his carrots is quicker than the ones who run past him.
And then you say something like that, and I am no longer quite so humbled.
Don't be humbled by me, Senora. I'm a simple man, just a more honest one these days. Look, let's remember what brought you in here in the first place. You saw that Space Wars movie and all its problems, right? I want to give you a challenge. I want you to find a piece of art to like. Anything. A painting, some music, a movie, heck, even a video game. And you enjoy that thing for what it is, not hate it for what it isn't.
Video games are not art.
Heresy, you're wrong. You're wrong. Where's my control? Where's my distortion? Why can't I tell you you're wrong?
Do you know that, Senora? I bet there's lots of video games with redeeming value. One of my clients plays a whole bunch of them.
I do not think they are for me.
Well, fair enough. Just find something, and we can talk about it next time. You can use the internet. I hear it's full of lists of things people like.
Very well. I will do this then. Sam, thank you for being so kind to me.
Well, I'll thank you to join me in being kind to you, okay, Senora? I'll see you in a few weeks.
Yes. Well then. Goodbye, Sam. Until we meet again.
Adios, Senora.
Well, well. A confession of love from the First Lady of the Renaissance.
Oh, shucks, she ain't in love with me.
I know I am teasing, but I am impressed, Samuel. You warmed her dead heart.
It was touch and go there for a bit. I thought she really was gonna rip my head off.
Ahoy, me hearties. Hello. Love seeing your reaction and everyone helping with our distortion picking is so cool. Well, yeah, thank you for dropping by. Oh, wait, you're the dev. You're the dev. Holy crap, dev. Hi. Okay, so real quick, love what you're doing. Please do more of this. And I am totally on board with this. Like, no joke, the fact that you dropped by, amazing. I'm actually kind of shell-shocked. Like, no joke, this is a game that has made me think about myself so much and has helped me deal with some of my own issues. Like, I cannot understate how much this is an amazing game. Like, no joke, if you ever make another one, I'm not even gonna wait. I'm just gonna immediately buy. The sequel is plotted? Yes, okay. Love it. I am on board. Whatever you make, I am on board. I love it. Thank you for dropping by. Like, no joke, I am like on cloud 9 now that the dev dropped by. I love it. Thank you so much. I actually have to calm down. Hold on. I gotta take a drink and calm down. Hold on. Oh, but yes, you know, what Evil Intent says is correct. Like, the fact that you've made this game so good at a teaching game, so much about bringing awareness to mental health issues. This is a very special game, and, you know, this is amazing. Oh, no, feel free to interrupt as much as you want. Like, you have the pass. If you want to talk about whatever, I'm here to listen. I will be your Sam in this instance. Oh, that is actually the first instance, I think, of any game that I've played that the dev has dropped by. This is a very special moment for me. So, I know I've said it like 5 times. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Whew. Gotta calm down. Okay. Alright, gotta calm down. Whew. Alright, let's finish this off, and then I gotta get up to use the restroom, but we're gonna continue. I think we're gonna finish this today. So let's finish off tonight, and then I will take a break, and then we will resume.
But you were not afraid, as she said. They make strong men in the American West.
Tough living will do that to you, sure enough.
Then let us relax. I hear you were dancing the other night.
Yeah, I gotta see Edmund. I gotta know what he's doing. Oh, but yes, thank you for dropping by again. Thank you so much. Oh, that is amazing.
Oh, nuts.
Do not be embarrassed, Samuel, but let us go downstairs. The night is still young and there's much to celebrate.
All right, Andy. I think I'm game for a little R&R.
All right, are we gonna see Crimson, or let's find out. We are gonna see Crimson.
Crimson, sweet sanguine. Tonight we are celebrating.
Okay, so his pet name for her is Sanguine. Sweet Sanguine. Okay.
I am pouring us all some shots. Verona Virgin 1492. A taste of a different time.
1492 virgin blood. Wow. How has he kept it good all this time? That's amazing.
You know I don't like drinking anything but fresh, Andy.
I know, dearest. This is a rare occasion. Samuel here was able to help a 500-year-old let go of her anger. So let us toast her age. To the Renaissance.
To the Renaissance.
Ugh, that tastes like dirt.
Yuck, I think mine had a clot in it.
It's not very good, is it? Ah well. Then let us instead toast leaving the past where it belongs.
I think I've had my fill of the past tonight already.
I've got a better idea.
Uh-oh, whispers.
Is that so? Of course, my dearest. I am delighted for you to share yourself.
Wait. Are we gonna Crimson? Are Sam and Crimson? Bark?
I'd like a little privacy. Come on, cowboy. Follow me to the kink room.
Bark.
Oh, well, all right then.
Smile, Samuel. You have the favor of a very special woman. It has been too long since I tended my own bar. Go have fun.
Okay, Andy, you have a good night.
Hey, cowboy.
Hi, Crimson.
Hi, Crimson.
Look, handsome. There's a reason I wanted to get you alone. Wanted to pick your brain about something.
Oh, are you gonna talk about potentially being embraced?
I'm hearing about all these clients of yours being stuck for hundreds of years, and I keep thinking, what if that's me? I've been half dead for 20 years. But do I want it to be 200?
Have you talked to Andy about this?
No, I think that's why she's getting us alone, so she can talk about it with us.
Yeah, but he's 3,000 years old. 20 years to him is like a month.
Ah.
I'm getting a little jealous of your vamps, if I'm honest. They're all moving forward, but I'm stuck in the same place. I've got Andy keeping me alive, but I'm not sure I'm living. The way I see it, either I decide my time's up, or I decide to become a vampire. So I wanted to ask, what's your favorite thing about living forever?
Well, I mean, all of these are true when it comes to Sam. Let's go with new perspectives. We'll probably have to go through all three, but let's go through new perspective first.
I like the night. Mortals are so tied to the sun, they miss out on a whole nother world. The night ain't so hectic. We ain't getting messages at all hours because everyone else is asleep. We got time for reading, for art, or whatever we like, really. Crimson, in the end, this is your decision. And you gotta decide for your own reasons.
I know. You're right, Sam. It's helpful to get a youngster's perspective, though. Now, are we gonna get to biting?
Bark.
Oh, we're still doing that.
Of course we are. Get in here, cowboy.
Bark.
I'm afraid of cutting the roof of my mouth open with that collar.
Come on, cowboy. Relax. Take it slow.
Nom.
That is something else.
Not bad, cowboy. But you don't need to bite. Just let your teeth sink in next time. If your partner is relaxed, they'll just slide right in.
Phrasing, but also correct.
Oh, well, thanks, Crimson. I'll try to remember that.
Bet you're pretty sleepy now, huh?
Well, yeah, now that you mention it.
Go get some sleep then, cowboy. And Sam, thank you. I'm glad you're around.
Likewise.
Where else would I be? I'm glad to be of service, ma'am. You have a fine evening.
All right. Because next should be Edmund.
Samuel, good evening. How is my ever-impressive protege tonight?
Okay. Give me like 5 minutes to check on the dog and use the restroom, but we are going to push through and maybe complete this today. So just give me a few moments. So be right back. All right, and we're back. Sorry about that. Nature called. I am not a vampire, so I have biological needs. But all right, let us see Edmund. I want to see what Edmund has in store for us today.
Looking forward to a night off, boss. I haven't heard from Eddie, so I was thinking about a nice hot bath.
Oh, I think Eddie's still going to show up.
An excellent idea. A little self-care goes a long way. I do have bubble bath if you would like to borrow some.
Andromachos the Mighty uses bubble bath, huh? I wouldn't have guessed.
There is only one type of human who does not like bubbles.
What type of human is that?
Liars?
Well, I was going to say werewolves, but I suppose it is the bath part they dislike, not the bubbles.
Fair, though if my dog is any indication, she loves any water.
Oh, well, I ain't no liar, so I'd love some bubble bath. In fact, well, tarnation, I guess the bubble bath is postponed.
Are you ready to handle Edmund's distortions? It sounds as though they will be intense.
Well, let me think real quick.
Okay. So I think we need to take catastrophizing. I think we need to take always right. Let me think. He's all about emotional reasoning, but I think that would trip me up more than it would help me. Imagine putting a half-ton doggo with enough strength to pull a Jeep Cherokee apart and into a bath. Yeah. Let me see. I think we're going to take labeling. And then let's take disqualifying the positive as well. Because I think we're going to see a very different side to Edmund Keene tonight. So let's see what happens.
I think I got it.
I suspect you have difficult work ahead tonight. I wish you the best of luck, Samuel.
Thanks, Andy. Hold on, Sammy boy, here he comes.
So that's one of the beautiful things about this game, Instigator, is you don't actually have a quote-unquote correct answer when you choose your cognitive distortions. No matter what you pick, there will always be things that pop up. So, and that's actually something I think they said, was it part 1 or part 2? Part 1 or part 2, they basically say there are always going to be cognitive distortions. You don't have to point out all of them. But if you mean in terms of if we guess wrong, then yeah, Andy comes in and gives us a hint. But no, in general, whatever you pick, they'll make it work, which is a very, very cool detail.
Hey, Eddie.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Sorry, I'm just processing the fact that Eddie looks like this. Okay. This is a thing. How you doing, buddy?
Do you like my costume, Sam?
Well, sure. Did you come right from that production you were talking about last time?
Uh-huh.
Yes. I flew right here after the performance. I had to tell you how it went.
Okay, how did it go, buddy?
So, how did it go?
Oh, you should have been there. You could have seen how the audience reacted.
Did they laugh at you?
They loved me.
Oh. But why did they love you, Eddie?
Hey, well, that's fantastic, Eddie. I was a little worried when I heard you coming. I wasn't expecting you tonight.
But why would you worry? You knew who I was. The great Edmund Keene. Of course the audience would love me.
There's a but here.
Oh, my dear boy, how they did laugh at the great clown Pierrot.
Well, that's amazing, Eddie. Gave that Grimaldi fellow a run for his money, huh?
Grimaldi would have never achieved as many laughs as I clearly earned.
You don't sound too happy about it, Eddie.
Yep, because he took the laughing personally.
Pierrot is supposed to be a tragic clown, but they laughed.
Yep, he doesn't realize that, yep, he got laughed off. Mm-hmm.
They just laughed and laughed and laughed.
Oh, Eddie.
They laughed at my heartbreak when my wife left me for a respectable man. They laughed when I held my dying child in my arms. They laughed as I succumbed to drink, damning God for not taking me. They laughed as I slit my own throat when 'twas no trick, for I am already dead.
Wow, that is some method acting you got going on there.
So you see, it was all very, very funny.
Eddie, I'm so sorry. That reaction sounds horrifying.
No, but of course it wasn't. I believe this role was made for me. It was made so that people could laugh at me. So laugh, my dear boy. Laugh.
That sounds like personalization.
Eddie, I know you're hurting right now. I know people can be cruel, but they ain't looking to be cruel to you in particular. That's one of them cognitive distortions. Personalization. It means, shut up! Shut up! Shut up! Shut up!
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Don't tell me a fucking thing about cognitive distortions! Do you think I don't know what they are? Do you think I do not employ each and every one, every single moment of every single day?
Okay, we're gonna have a breakthrough.
I am a professional liar, but no lie is so carefully constructed as that of Edmund Keene. You told me to deal with reality as it is. So be it. This is Edmund Keene. A minstrel, a jester, a fool, a clown. A clown whose greatest joke is to pretend for even a moment that he is not one.
Okay, so... And I hope this isn't oversharing, but basically, when I went through therapy, I had a moment like this. And it was one of those situations where I wasn't, of course, like screaming at the therapist like Eddie's doing now. But it definitely was handled in a way that I'm curious to see. Yeah, he's got hardcore imposter syndrome, and that's something I've always struggled with. So I'm curious to see how he develops from here. So it's labeling, of course.
Eddie, you're a human. You're the most complicated being to walk the earth, and you got more years behind you than I do. Them labels ain't doing anything for you except locking you into an identity that ain't good for you.
They are more honest labels than Edmund, the great and respected actor. Edmund, the normal, respectable man.
Oh, good, he's laughing. That's good.
Eddie, I don't want you using any labels. All they're doing is creating false expectations for yourself.
But you see, my dear boy, all that is impressive about Edmund Keene is just illusion. It has always been an illusion. That is what the stage is, but it is my life as well.
I think that's disqualifying the positive.
I don't believe that for a second, Eddie. We're the sum of our experiences, and you bring something to that stage no one else can.
And both of you are right, Alex and Jedi. It was not a good laugh. I was being sarcastic.
Maybe if you were a robot, we'd be having a different conversation. But you're disqualifying the positive things you bring. Not just to the stage, but in yourself.
Honeyed words will never be sweet enough to mask the taste of truth, my dear boy. There is no Edmund Keene, only a pile of lies. Go ahead and ask me, therapist. Ask me, who is Edmund Keene?
Who is Edmund Keene?
Nay, do not ask. I will tell you. Edmund Keene is nothing. There is no Edmund Keene.
Okay.
I have never met the man, or even the boy. I have known Shylock, Richard III, Hamlet, Lear, Othello, Macbeth, Romeo, Cupid.
So you're saying that you don't have a personality outside the theater?
But people loved all of those characters. Wherefore would they love Edmund? Edmund had to become a character as well. And I have played Edmund for so long that naught lies beneath. A hollow man sits before you. As other vampires have said, what is a man anyway? A miserable pile of secrets, a mountain of pretty lies.
There you go, Alex. He even said the quote for you. The quote straight from Castlevania. Oh, that is beautiful.
Eddie, that ain't true, and I'll tell you why.
We all lie. We all lie.
We all lie, Eddie. Deep down, we're all still scared animals who can't tell the difference between a booing audience and a lion ripping out our throats. For all the time my blood was pumping, I played a tough guy. Slaughtering Sam, they called me. I like that name. You want to know why?
Why?
Because it made me feel safe. Under that grizzled exterior, I was still just a scared little boy. But that little boy was me, Eddie.
You understand me? Though we have played different parts, the character underneath is the same, perhaps.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember that I played Cupid as a boy?
I do.
That was your breakout role, right?
I learned that if I smiled and spoke sweetly, people would view me as something other than street trash.
Ah, so he believes in his heart that he is street trash, because that's his imposter syndrome.
I wouldn't have to go hungry. I wouldn't have to be sold to some bloated factory owner. Edmund Keene was worthless to anyone. Another mouth to feed, another body to clothe. So I knew I had to make him disappear. I thought if I suppressed Edmund and became the character the public wanted, I would be rewarded. But this illusion, this character of Edmund Keene, he has brought me to such unspeakable depths. Do you know why I sought to become a vampire? Why I dwelt in dark places until the curse of immortality was given to me?
I have a hunch, but you tell me.
I became a vampire because I was afraid that my son Charles would be a more successful actor than I was. I could not let his legacy overtake mine.
So I think this is the first mention of his son. I don't recall him mentioning that he had a family before. So, okay, let's hear about this Charles.
I had to be sure that I was the Keene that would be remembered.
Dang, Eddie. That's a lot.
Bit of an understatement, Sam, but yes.
Yes, I have been monstrous. I needed to be the most beloved. I needed my every demand fulfilled. I had my own pet lion. I rode my horse indoors. I flew into a rage if anyone denied me sexual gratification. As an immortal, my fears have made me even more terrible. How many promising young actors I have killed because I felt they threatened my legacy. So many lives cut short because I, and I alone, know what acting must be.
Well, that's always right.
But you know that ain't true, don't you? You can't know everything about acting. Acting is all about the human experience, right? You said it yourself. You're one man with one set of experiences. You can't represent all of human experience on your own.
Of course I knew that. And that is why I had to kill them. They threatened Edmund Keene, and for that, they had to die. I could not face the idea that they would bring something to the stage that I could not. Indeed, the very reason I am wearing these clothes is because I could not bear the idea that Grimaldi brought something to the stage that I could not. Do you see how pathetic I am? I am battling a man who has been dead for almost 200 years. The audience was right. I am a most laughable creature.
Poor Eddie. Poor Eddie.
I know what they are thinking, what they have always thought. Look at the fool actor. Look how he debases himself by begging for our approval.
The important thing here is accept things as they are, compadre.
I cannot accept things as they are, my dear boy. How can I? How can I accept that I have forced everyone around me to confirm my lie of an existence?
Well, the beautiful thing is, Eddie, you're immortal. You have time to figure out what you want. and what you are.
How can I accept the people I defiled to satisfy my ego? The son I was relieved to see die. The blood I have spilled to sustain my legacy. The lie is all I have, and all I know. I have done such evil to protect it. So much is my poverty of spirit, so mighty, and yet with so many defects, in the vapor of my own glory smothered. No, my dear boy. What is done cannot be now amended. The child Edmund is buried, and this grim-visaged, wretched creature is all that remains.
I don't think that's true. I think if you take the time for yourself, you can bring back the child Edmund.
Eddie, I ain't gonna sugarcoat it. You've done some truly awful stuff. And fear doesn't excuse the dastardly deeds you done. The shit you done ain't never going away.
Yes, go on, kick me, jeer, laugh at the vicious clown, tell him what a fool he is.
You ain't gonna play pity tricks on me or yourself. You acted like a lily-livered sumbitch, Eddie. I know that, because I've done some awful shit too. Because of my fear, I hurt scores of folks. Some strangers, some near and dear. And because of my fear, I pushed all that stuff down deep where no one could see it, just like you. I was too afraid to face myself. Once I didn't have a choice but to take a good look at myself, my first thought was that I deserved to go meet the sunrise, because I'm a coward too. But there's something else we've got in common in addition to acting like yellow bellies, Eddie. You know what it is?
What is it?
We got time, Eddie. We got time to become new people.
And there it is. Let's see how Eddie takes this.
We got time to look at ourselves honestly and say, yeah, I've been a coward, but I ain't gonna be a coward any longer. So what'll it be, Eddie? You're gonna live forever. Will you do it as a coward or as a man?
I don't know how to be a man.
Well, you got time.
So you're giving up then?
No, I cannot maintain the facade any longer. I am revealed to myself. But Sam, I never learned to be a person. I stopped being real at 8 years old.
Then started being 8 years old again.
Sprout! Why did my fellow actors coddle me so? Why did they let me become a monster? They could have said no, but they did not.
I think that's personalization. No, it's
Edmund
not.
now recognizes the difficult person he has been, but he is attempting to shirk responsibility for his own actions.
Okay, so it's not personalization.
Sprout!
Let me
Why did my
see.
fellow actors coddle me so? Why did they let me become a monster? They could have said no, but they did not.
So it's not labeling. Yeah, if we had blaming, I would have put blaming, but we don't have blaming, unfortunately. Let me think. Is this catastrophizing? Let me see. You know what? It could be labeling because of the monster. Let's try catastrophizing, then we'll go labeling. Okay, so let's try labeling.
Eddie, you were a
There we go.
child. It ain't fair to label yourself a monster.
Oh, there's disqualifying the positive behind my avatar is the distortion you can't see.
How the heck were you supposed to know any better?
Oh, but I knew, dear boy, I knew. Greedily I drank the milk of human kindness.
I hope you don't mean that literally. But what's a little boy from the slums supposed to do anyway? You weren't a monster for accepting the love you weren't getting. But anyway, we ain't focusing on the people who gave in to a kid who was too big for his britches. We're focusing on you. You did some real awful things. You killed people for criticizing you or for showing talent. You resented your son's success. These are things you gotta take in.
But how can I put such things behind me?
You don't. You've gotta accept the things you've done as part of who you are. You ain't gonna erase the last 200 some years, but maybe you can use them to make a better Edmund going forward.
How? How do I introduce myself as a demanding megalomaniac? How do I introduce myself as a man who was relieved to see his own son die?
You don't.
How do I introduce myself as a man who demanded the entire world get on their knees to satisfy his ego?
You find a new way to introduce yourself.
Well, I wouldn't exactly lead with that stuff. How about you introduce yourself as a man who's figuring himself out?
I suppose that is a possibility. At the least, it is not unexpected for me to be so disarrayed. It is known that we actors are all by nature an insecure people.
I feel like that's typecasting, but honestly, because again, I used to be a theater kid at some aspect. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot in Edmund that I've seen in others over the years. I mean, heck, even streamers have the same issue. Which, now I'm wondering what the heck is Meddy gonna do?
Perhaps I need to find an identity beyond the stage. It protected me in my youth, but I do not think that it serves me any longer.
Good job, Eddie. You're gonna find a new hobby. I believe in you.
That might be worth exploring, Eddie.
But what if I am nothing without the stage? What if I seek other endeavors, but there are none for me?
Not labeling. Not always right. Let us try... Because I don't think it's disqualifying the positive either. Oh, the more I think about disqualifying the positive, hold on, the more I think about it, let us try catastrophizing, and then we'll try disqualifying the positive.
You're doing some Nosferatu thinking, Eddie. I've been roaming this earth around the same time as you, and what I picked up is there ain't no extremes. It ain't all or nothing. I guarantee you there's more possibilities out there for you between the grave and the stage. I mean, how long have you even looked for anything beyond the stage?
About 5 minutes, apparently.
Not at all, I suppose.
Then let's hold judgment in reserve, huh?
The theater is all I know. It has been my protector all this time. Without it, I am helpless as a swaddling babe.
Is that labeling, or is it disqualifying the positive? Because, it seems like the swaddling babe is labeling. See, this is always the one I struggle with, is the difference when it comes to Eddie. But, let's try disqualifying the positive, and then we'll try labeling.
Edmund believes life without the stage is something he cannot handle. He is stronger than he knows.
Okay,
The theater is
so...
all I know. It has been my protector all this time.
Let's try labeling. Not labeling. Okay, I was completely
The theater
wrong.
is all I know. It has been my protector all this time. Without it, I am helpless as a swaddling babe.
So is it always right? No, it's
believes
personalization.
The
Is
theater
what
is
it
all I
is.
know.
No, Chad is right. It is
The theater
Kata.
Eddie,
There we
come
go.
on. The stage is the thing you know, but you ain't helpless without it.
That's the thing, is I keep forgetting that catastrophizing is Nos thinking as well. Oh well, we got there in the end. Again, this is why I appreciate the game not having a health bar mechanic, because sometimes I'm just missing the point. And that's a learning experience.
I mean, maybe you're forgetting the whole superhuman strength and immortality thing that comes with being a vampire. And even besides that, you've learned a thing or two from all them Shakespeare plays beyond acting, I'm sure. You ain't a helpless little boy no more, so don't pretend you're powerless to do something new.
Yes. If anything, I certainly have keen powers of self-pity, do I not?
You do indeed.
I wasn't gonna say it. However helpless you might feel, Eddie, remember that's just how you feel right now. That's the amazing thing about being undead. We got lots of time to make a better tomorrow. My mentor, Andy, he says that at 200 years old, we're basically toddlers by vampire standards. And we both got a lot of growing up to do.
That is a heartening thought.
If we're doing life right, Eddie, we're always growing up. The trick is not to think we're done growing.
Spoken like the bard himself. As he said, all the world's a stage, and I am barely past mewling and puking in the nurse's arms. I should be of a more mature mind, shouldn't I? Surely 237 years is old enough to be out of nappies.
Should statement.
We got time to grow, Eddie. Let's just be glad you're a 200-year-old baby and not a 2,000-year-old baby, huh? We'd be having a real different conversation then.
But growth to me seems nigh impossible. I have allowed my fear to guide my every sad-gutted action. My fear told me when I was threatened, which was always.
This is what I mean, Eddie. You're always in defensive mode, ready for someone to take you down. That ain't no way to live. When you're afraid of some young actor coming up and making a name for themselves, what's so scary about that anyway?
I'm afraid they will erase me. I will be just another child of the rookeries, used and discarded, of no value to anyone. No history, no legacy, no record of my existence.
Alright, we're going to start with Kata this time, because that sounds like a Kata.
But Eddie, there's loads of actors out there, all with different kinds of strengths. There's legends from every era. I'm a Buster Keaton fan myself. That filler was one of a kind, just like you were. When he was doing crazy stunts on trains, he weren't no threat to Hamlet.
He was very talented. I wanted to kill him, but I never liked visiting America.
Well, I'm glad you didn't. But you see that his success didn't do anything to yours. Not every threat means your doom.
Very powerful statement there. Not every threat means your doom, because to Eddie, he believed everything was a threat. And let's see how Eddie takes and internalizes this.
Perhaps my time has passed anyway. There was a time when the stage awaited Edmund Keane, but my death was the end of that time.
I want to say this is disqualifying the positive, but could also be personalization. Let's try disqualifying the positive. Nope.
I do not believe the stage waits for anyone, Samuel.
So it's personalization.
Perhaps my...
Okay, we got some real work to do still. Here's the thing, Eddie. The stage wasn't waiting for you. Theater wasn't waiting for Edmund Keane to show up, and it wasn't waiting for you to die. You're used to making things about you, but the glorious, wonderful truth is, they ain't.
See, that's the thing, Lord Exile, is we saw Drayne's vampire side, we saw Isabella's vampire side. I don't know that we're going to see Eddie's vampire side. I almost am certain we'll see Meddy's vampire side, but I don't think we're going to see that at Edmund here.
And I got some real good news for you, hombre. You're dead. The pressure's off. All them fears are keeping you locked in time, and you can stay there as long as you like, or you can make some progress. What's it gonna be?
I am too much of a coward to die, so I suppose I must live.
I'm glad to hear that.
I believe I should go away somewhere cold and dark, where I might be alone with my thoughts.
I think that's a great idea. I did the same thing, and it changed my life. Oh, well, my unlife.
I suppose all's well that ends well. I only hope it does.
I got faith in you. As long as we're putting one foot in front of the other, that's progress.
I shall see you in a month then.
You got it, Eddie. Take care of yourself. We'll get you out of that mewling and puking stage before you know it, okay?
So it shall be. Very well. Exit Edmund Keane. Stage left.
How is going somewhere cold and dark a good thing when you're this depressed? So, Edmund has a lot of thinking to do, and being isolated, it's kind of one of those things where it could go either way, where you either become more depressed or you work through what you're thinking, at least when it came to me, where I just needed time to process and internalize everything. You can't really do that when you're speaking with other people. At least I've never been able to, but I've also always been an introvert. So it's just, yeah, it's something where the less distractions there are, as Alex say, the more chance he'll, again, process the information. Yeah, I don't know. Well, again, he is a vampire. Cold and dark are very different to a vampire than they are to mortals like us.
Bravo, Samuel. I was taking notes. It seems the student has become the master.
Only a master of fumbling around. I knew I was taking a risk there.
You were, but perhaps such risks are justified with such an extreme personality. He attempted to gaslight you, but you held fast and challenged him, sternly but fairly.
Mm-hmm.
You have a gentle nature. That must have been difficult.
I didn't want to drive him off the edge. I just saw him close to making a breakthrough, and I didn't want him to start sinking again.
Well, you can now count yourself among a very small number of therapists who have made a breakthrough with such a one. I do not count myself among them.
And you let me handle Edmund?
I had faith in you, Samuel. You affirmed it magnificently. Now, please, go downstairs and find a friendly neck. You deserve it.
A drink sounds mighty nice right about now. You have a good night, Andy.
Rest in peace, my dear friend.
Are we going to see the goth couple? Please tell me we'll see the goth couple. Is it? Is it the goth couple? Or no, it's probably Panoptabella. We haven't seen her in a
Dang, I'm
while.
a little shaken up after that one. I've never seen a man as afraid as Edmund Keene. That was tough to watch. I'm sure Crimson can lift my mood. Howdy, Crimson.
What's the matter, cowboy? You look a little paler than usual.
Oh, just had a real tough session. Watched a man who'd been wearing a mask for 200 years finally take it off, and it weren't pretty. Had to happen, though. The fella's got a long road ahead of him, but at least he's taking his first steps.
Think this'll do the trick then? I call this a bloody cowboy martini. Shaken, not stirred.
That's a bloody cowboy martini, shaken, not stirred.
I'm proud of you, Sam. Starting over is hard, especially when you've been spinning your wheels for a long time.
Well, that's the nice thing about being a vampire. We got time to start over.
Cheers to that.
To rebirth.
It seems you walk ever in the path of the Lord, my son.
Hey, it's Matthew Mercer. Hi, Matthew Mercer.
Oh, hey, Kieran.
I did not mean to intrude. I noted your discomfort and wish to offer you succor in the kink room.
You mind, Crimson?
Not at all. Go drink your fill, cowboy.
Come, my son. Now then, I heard you speak of rebirth.
Yeah, it's something we vampires have to do a lot of. I was just worried about one of my clients having trouble with their rebirth.
I know it is painful, my son. When we are born again, we leave a part of ourselves behind. Like the lizard who sloughs its dead skin, or the mortal who journeys into the mosh pit, we emerge purer than before.
Sounds like you've got a lot of perspective on this stuff, Kieran.
I know you must have questions, my son. Please, ask.
Yeah, this is, let me see. Now you desire a mosh pit? I mean, you know. I think we're just gonna go through all of these because they all are interesting aspects. Plus, I just want to hear Matthew Mercer speak more. So, you know.
From your spiritual perspective, can we ever truly start over?
My son, you know the answer already. We beings of flesh and blood are also beings of judgment. However, we do not stand in judgment of mortals, but of ourselves. If you believe you have defeated your demons, then you have.
Yeah, that's true. Reminds me a lot of should statements. And defeating demons is pretty badass, ain't it?
Yes, it is the demons who should fear us, my son. Did you have more questions?
Yep, we're gonna do all of them.
Ain't being reborn just rejecting who we were? I wasn't a good guy, Kieran, but I don't want to erase my dark days.
My son, only in Christ do we truly receive absolution and become beings of pure light. Our darkness defines us. We cannot reject it, just as we cannot reject the Almighty. It is part of us. But do not be shamed by it, my son. Your darkness is beautiful and unique, as is your journey through the darkness.
I'm not gonna lie, I would totally listen to a full sermon from Kieran. Not just because of Mercer voicing him. This is a very, yeah, like, this is a priest I actually like. Like, yeah, you're saying good things. This is pretty cool.
Kinda sounds like disqualifying the positive to me.
Actually, it's liner notes from a metal album I'm fond of.
Well played. Well played indeed.
Did you have more questions to ask?
Yep, just one more.
From your spiritual perspective, how do we know when it's time for a rebirth?
An hour, a week, a year, a millennium. The answer, my son, is when we are ready. Only the Lord decides when that is. The Lord giveth, and the Lord taketh away, and all is according to his will.
Yeah, and you've got it right, Alex, is that he is definitely more about accepting and understanding than being the fire and brimstone style of priest, which I did not like the fire and brimstone growing up.
Well, that sounds like a control fallacy, though. We can't let someone else make our decisions for us.
My son, all your trials, the world you live in, they are all his work. He leads you to the truth. When he has prepared you fully, you will accept it. and join him along with the dearly departed gods of metal. Did you have more questions for me, my son?
Nope, I think that's pretty much it.
Why ain't your lord the fire and brimstone type that's marked my kind for centuries?
The Lord did not do these things. That is the work of man. Even they work through him and face their own dark journeys. But eventually, we will all be blessed and return to his bosom to rock for all eternity. It is not for man to judge.
Well, I've got a lady who would love to meet you. I think a few men of the cloth did her dirty.
Are we gonna introduce him to Isabella?
Men will ever seek power. But I know some simply seek blood. Are you ready to receive succor, my son?
Yeah, but I really wish you'd stop calling it that. That is enlightening.
There. May you be sustained and fulfilled. May you shepherd your lost sheep, as I shepherd the children of the night.
You're a one-of-a-kind dude, Kieran. But thanks for the drink and the talk. You have a fine night.
Oh, it does, Lord Exile. I've just been getting really good at hitting it. If you miss, Sam says something. It's something where if you miss the vein, you get a little bit of extra dialogue, but I've only ever missed it once, so...
Godspeed, my son.
Alright, well, here we go, everybody. It's time for Meddy. And oh lord, are we ready to see how Meddy has processed everything.
Good evening, Samuel. You are seeing your ancient client tonight, are you not?
Yeah, that's right. I hope she's doing okay. I'm worried about her and that whole algorithm thing.
I had a little consultation with some other elder vampires. We have developed a theory, though I hope we are wrong.
Okay, what is this theory?
We believe the algorithm is a demon, known to few, named Raziel. Even I have only ever heard whispers of his name.
Okay.
In mythology, he is a fallen angel, believed to have recorded every action, every change of state for all things on this earth into a great book. This book of knowledge he shared with the first mortals. But mortals were not designed to process so much information at once. They made judgments and reinforced behavior based on information they could not understand.
Huh. Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's okay.
Raziel watched as the mortals inevitably used the book to suppress free will, and he was cast down for his terrible mistake.
No, you're good, Alex. It's interesting to see how the game changes its own mythology in its own setting. Okay, so...
We believe that Raziel has returned. Perhaps he believes that with computers, he can attempt to pass infinite knowledge to humanity once more.
Okay, but hold on. You're basically implying that the reason I get recommended cat videos is because Raziel thinks that that's infinite knowledge. Does that say more about the content of cat videos, or more about the fact that cats are amazing creatures? Both? I'm gonna go with both.
Terrible things will happen if this comes to pass. I would urge great caution, Samuel. Find out what you can about this algorithm. We may have dark work to do.
What the hell? Fallen angels? Ancient books of knowledge? What the heck have I walked into? We don't have this kind of shit in America.
Are they the fallen angels from High School DxD? Listen, Meddy probably would agree with that statement, but no, they are not from High School DxD. I hope not, anyway.
I am old enough to be mythological myself, Samuel. Myth often contains truth. The important question is how much. We do not know what effect he may have had on Meddy. But do not worry. Show her the same compassion you show all your clients, and that will open any doors that can open.
All right, I better prepare for this one. It sounds like it might be a doozy.
All right, so we want to be careful what we pick here. Let's take should statements. Let's take labeling. Well, maybe not labeling, because that's overgeneralization already. Let's take blaming. Let's take control fallacy. And yeah, did we make Nos thinking our last one or emotional? Let me think. Let's take... I'm going to take emotional reasoning. Or, well, then you raise an excellent point, fairness. I'm going to take emotional reasoning, simply because I haven't really brought it with us. So let's take emotional reasoning just so it's something new.
Greetings, little mouse.
Squeak, squeak.
Howdy, Meddy. It's good to see you. How you feeling tonight?
Not well, sweetling. Not well at all.
Oh no, what's going on? I know you were feeling all stressed about your numbers on that glitch site.
They doxed me. Do you know what doxing is, my whiskery friend? It's when mortals find out where you live, where you sleep, so they can hurt you.
Oh dear, she got doxxed. Oh no. How many people did you kill, Meddy?
A group of vampire hunters came looking for me. They were really mean, but they're all dead now, and much happier. But it was very inconvenient.
So we finally have confirmation that there are hunters in this universe. Okay.
Now I have to move, and it is very difficult to set up my lighting to make me look alive.
Dang, Meddy, I'm so sorry. That sounds awful.
It's worse. I will not be able to use my computer for a week. How am I going to upload my content?
You're not.
My fans and zealots are all so impatient. They're sure to leave me if I don't provide them with their content.
That sounds like an overgeneralization. Yeah, let's try overgeneralization.
So, how many of these followers and zealots have you got, Meddy?
Perhaps 2 million zealots and 90 million followers on Glitch.
Oh, so if I remember what she said earlier today, she had 100 million, and now she only has 90. Yeah, so she lost 10 million followers.
And how many of them do you think you'll actually lose if you don't upload lots of content?
The algorithm has already told me that I will lose millions of followers.
So let's go ahead and listen to the algorithm. If you lose millions of followers, it ain't anywhere near 90 million. It's doing a bit of overgeneralization and catastrophizing to think they're all going to leave you high and dry.
Oh, well, that's interesting. So it would have been an instance where we would have had two things that applied. Interesting.
Heck, maybe the folks who stay are the ones what you can really count on.
What you can really count on what?
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 What? I'm gonna say what again?
What?
What?
I wonder how long this will loop. Oh, I have a feeling that's gonna be an infinite loop, but let's go for never mind.
Oh, never mind.
You said what?
I was trying to say that the people who don't mind you not uploading so much might be better folk to keep around.
It's not up to me, little mice. It's not up to them either. Even the little bloodbags who love me won't get to see me if I don't provide them content.
I don't get it. Why wouldn't they see it? Is the mailman or whatever not delivering your messages?
You're very funny. No, the algorithm decides who sees my content. If I give it content, it will make people like me more. If I stop feeding it, it shuns me.
Meddy, I gotta say, that doesn't sound like a healthy relationship.
Nope. And that's why so many sort of bigger streamers chase the algorithm, because it is not great, all things considered, if you lose yourself trying to chase the algorithm. Yeah, and it's why many of the bigger YouTubers burn out, or why YouTubers in general burn out, is because they're chasing a very unhealthy relationship with the algorithm.
Oh, no, it's my friend, I should think. As long as I keep producing content for it, it draws the juicy mortals to me.
How many mortals do you need, though, really?
Well, if I'm to feel safe, I should like to have more of them always.
So that is should. Not should.
Meddy should understand that her feelings of safety, or of lack of safety, are ever-changing and may not reflect reality.
Oh, then is it a control
well,
fallacy?
If I'm to feel safe, I should like to have more of them always.
Yeah, let's try control fallacy. Not
Meddy
control
should
fallacy.
understand that her
Okay, hold
feelings of
on.
Well, if I'm to feel safe, I should like to have more of them always.
Hold on. So... No, we tried should. Should wasn't right. We tried should. We've tried should and we've tried control fallacy. Let me consult the handy-dandy book, because this could be emotional reasoning. Let us consult the handy-dandy book. Emotional reasoning. Feelings alone don't define the world, especially when we project our feelings onto the world. So yes, I think this is emotional reasoning.
Pardon my saying
There we
so,
go.
miss, but you're giving yourself a heck of a goal. Your gut's telling you to want something that's nigh impossible to get.
My guts don't talk, silly mouse. Except when I've had too much blood to drink. Meddy, what have you done to me?
That was a little too close for comfort. That was... Okay, I'm gonna move on.
I'm trying to say that your feelings ain't ever gonna let you feel safe if that follower count needs to keep going up.
I gain more followers and zealots every month. I need them. One of them has agreed to let me eat him and I'll take over his flat. They're quite useful.
Well, let me ask you something. Do you actually like any of these followers or zealots? Or are they all just food or servants?
What a silly question, little mouse. Of course I don't like them. I always know what they're like. You forget how old I really am.
That sounds like overgeneralization. But let's see if I'm right.
Oh, now I gotta challenge you on that, miss. I know you got a lot of followers and zealots or whatever they're called, but that don't mean you know all of them. Now, I'm sure you know a lot about mortals on them websites you're using, but that ain't all mortals, and all mortals ain't them.
It's not just them, though. I told you about how they killed me. About how they plucked my eye out. Pop.
Stop doing that. Please, stop.
I'm saying, can you know that you're always right about mortals?
I wouldn't like to prove that I am.
But these mortals, you're talking to them every day. You got all these folks at your beck and call. They're the people you talk to.
That's right.
But you don't have a real relationship with any of them?
Why would I want to have a relationship with my food? You really are quite a silly whiskers.
See, it's funny, Alex, because I don't think it's a glass eye. I think it's a magic eye in this instance.
Meddy, I'm saying the only relationships you've got are with what you're calling your food.
But that's what they are. They're food. Delicious, delicious food. Food that sometimes does heavy lifting and computer work, but still, food.
Meddy, it sounds like you're in a bit of a codependent relationship with your food. And maybe with this algorithm fella.
Yep, we've laid it out for her. Now how's she gonna take the news?
Oh, but it's not a fellow. And it's not a lady either.
So it's non-binary?
No, it claims that it is entirely binary. All ones and zeros. They'll speak very strangely sometimes.
Well, whatever they are, seems like as soon as they showed up, you stopped having any real friends.
I wouldn't have time for friends anyway. The algorithm says that I should always provide content to my community, and that takes all night.
That sounds like a should statement.
So why do you think the algorithm has that should?
It just knows. It knows everything.
Well, let's say that it does know everything. Why does that mean that we should let it tell us what to do? Can it know everything and still make mistakes?
That I do not know.
That's what I'm trying to say. But here's the thing, this algorithm, it might have all the information, but that doesn't mean it's got all the answers.
You don't know it like I do. Do you know what I really like about the algorithm, little mouse?
Enlighten me.
Unlike the ancient gods the old clans used to worship, or the Abrahamic gods that came after, It treats us equally. If we provide content, we will be rewarded.
Yep, you are down bad for the algorithm.
Let's talk about these rewards. You say it rewards you with more mortal souls, right?
Highly engaged mortal souls, ready to serve me, should I need them.
No, and Lord Exile, this is why I like Meddy, because she embodies not only, obviously, the stigmas and problems that streamers face, but it's also very funny in a kind of dark way that she's a slave to the algorithm. It's quite interesting.
But you said you had souls already back in the pre-social media days, right? And you didn't need 90 million of them.
That's true, but it does make me feel quite special when the number goes up.
Stop chasing numbers, Meddy.
Is that number going up good for you, though? Not just the stress of managing all them folks, but drawing the attention of vampire hunters. Would you be doing any of this stuff if the algorithm wasn't demanding it?
Did ask me to play a game that I did not like very much the other night, and I pretended to enjoy it.
Oh, that's the worst, when you're watching a streamer and you can tell that they're not enjoying it, or if you're watching a streamer do an ad and the game is like total jank and you're seeing the streamer's brain turn like, I gotta say something positive, and then as soon as the ad portion of the stream is over, they're like, okay, now that the stream's part or the ad part of the stream's over, let me tell you how I really feel. Like, it's, yeah, I mean, it is something that the algorithm does try to make you do, but if you don't like a game, don't play it.
It's called Call of Nationalism. It's all about men who are proud to be angry, which I find very upsetting.
Call of Nationalism. So instead of Call of Duty, it's Call of Nationalism. All right. Okay.
See, that's just what I'm talking about. What about what you want? Did you get to that knitting you wanted to do?
No. I had to play the terrible game about insecure man-worms.
That sounds like a control fallacy.
You had to play this Call of Nationalism? Meddy, you ain't helpless here. You could have done a million other things than play this game. You're acting like you got no control here, but dang, come on. You've got the life experience of almost 2 millennia. Don't act like you're powerless.
You're right, little mouse. I am very powerful. I don't know what to do. I know that I spend too much time on the internet, but I can't live the life I used to live. I would live out in the wilds again, but there are no wilds any longer.
Knitting stream would be turbo wholesome. You know what? I wonder if we'll suggest something along those lines to Meddy. Like, hey, do a knitting stream.
When I walk the streets, city folks stare because they sense my true nature.
That's personalization, but we didn't bring it.
The experiences I've had with mortals have not been happy ones. My pink-nosed, scrabbly-clawed, long-tailed friend.
Well, these mouse descriptions are getting kind of long.
You just don't understand what a mouse you are. It's the mortal's fault I must lock myself away in my flat. It's the mortal's fault that I have to use the internet to survive.
That sounds like blaming.
Well, let's be straight shooters here, miss. At least some of the responsibility for being holed up in that flat with nothing but a computer is yours. I ain't saying that mortals didn't have their part in taking away your home in the wilderness, but they didn't force you to lock yourself away. That's a should you made up.
You can be a very mean little mouse sometimes. Mice are supposed to be kind and sweet.
I ain't trying to be mean, miss. I'm just saying you're leaving out your own contribution to the problem. I'm not saying it's all your fault.
Would you be very fond of mortals who did this to you?
No, see, Evil Intent, it's one of those things where, as much as she's, chasing numbers here, I think, honestly, her core viewership would watch her do whatever she streamed. Like, they don't care that she's, she doesn't care about the content of her stream, or how do I want to say this? Let me back that up. The core viewership is always going to watch no matter what you do, whether it's a game, whether it's knitting, Legos, beat art, just chatting, whatever you're doing, you're going to have a core viewership. And sure, you'll get some people who are only watching because they want to see your reaction to a specific event in a specific game. But overall, your core viewership will always be there for you. But no, to answer Meddy's question, I'd probably be angry if mortals if they picked out my eye. Yeah, I like my eyes.
Well, no, I wouldn't. And I didn't say you should. But you gotta admit, you're giving a lot of time and energy to people you don't like. You're resenting them, and I can't blame you.
Of course I resent them. They're all quite awful. Any one of them would hurt me if given the chance.
Overgeneralization.
Maybe I gotta say, that's some Nosferatu thinking. You've been around a lot longer than me, long enough to know there's almost nothing that's all good or all bad.
Yeah, Grey Matter, you're definitely one of my core viewers, for sure.
I know we both spend a lot of time in nature, and nature has a good way of disavowing us of our more extreme beliefs and overgeneralizations.
I suppose that's true. I once saw a wolf and a deer having a romantic relationship. Well, at least there was quite a lot of licking involved.
I'm not going to touch that one. How did Meddy lose her eye? She was caught as a witch, and pop goes the eyeball.
Oh, I didn't see nothing like that, but maybe I would have if I'd stayed in the wilderness longer. Let me ask you a question. If you're thinking all these followers of yours are a certain way, what if you're at?
Very frustrating, Silly Whiskers. You keep telling me that I'm doing cognitive distortions, and then you say they're correct.
I don't think that's what we're saying, Meddy.
Well, I'm just wondering about these mortals the algorithm sends your way. What does it say about you that makes them check you out in the first place?
Oh god, are we gonna hear her bio?
Well, I suppose it shows them that I'm pretty, and that I play video games they like. And they might get to see my body parts.
Do they know that you're clever and funny? Do they know that you've got more life experience than they could ever reckon?
There's no time to talk about that kind of thing, Silly. They scroll past streamers very quickly. I have less than a second to make an impression. That's what the algorithm tells me.
Technically, I think it's actually more like 3 seconds if I remember the metric, but same difference.
So you got all these millions of mortals following you because you're easy on the eyes and like some of the same video games they like?
More like easy on the eye.
Oh my god, Meddy, please, no more puns.
Okay, I get it. But the point is, if the algorithm is sending mortals your way based on good looks and some video games, you ain't getting people who like you for you. You're getting mortals who want content, not Meddy. Frankly, it ain't no surprise that you don't have much respect for them.
You're very sweet, little mouse. But the algorithm knows what mortals want, and it's not me. They want my body and my video games. I don't have anything else they want.
Okay, so I know we've been playing this game for 10 plus hours. I am just now cluing in to the visual direction that the red glow behind Sam means that there's a distortion involved, and that if we don't have it, it just glows red. But if we have one of the distortions we can point out, we also see the red. I'm literally just cluing into that fact, and we're at the end of the game. Oh, that probably would have made my life a lot easier, but it is what it is. It's good visual design.
Don't let this stupid algorithm reduce you to your looks and the games it tells you to play. It's insulting all that you are as a unique individual.
I understand what you're trying to say, Willy Whiskers McMouseface III, but you don't know the algorithm as I do.
Willy Whiskers McMouseface III. This implies that there was a second and the first. What happened to them?
It doesn't insult anyone. It just collects all the information about everyone and everything, recognizes patterns, and shows me what those patterns are. What it decides is important is based on the thoughts of every human who has ever been online. It truly knows the will of mortals because it knows all mortals.
Is that overgeneralization. I think it is.
What it's doing is overgeneralizing, Meddy. How the heck can all of humanity be reduced to formulas? It can't. So what's it doing? It's shaping humanity by reinforcing what folks are already paying attention to. It's telling you to play call of nationalism and rely on sex appeal. It's telling the mortals to only care about them things that are popular already. Don't explore. Don't appreciate things that are weird and unique. If this algorithm gets what it wants, what'll happen? Earth will be the most boring place in the universe. Meddy, this algorithm doesn't appreciate you, and it's teaching you not to appreciate yourself.
Uh-oh, she does not like that.
You're right, little mouse. Oh, I am forgetting myself. I think I don't want to feel lonely anymore. I want to be liked.
You ain't gonna be happy if you're being liked for being some boring idea of what someone else thinks you should be.
I really have been very silly, haven't I? The algorithm isn't nice at all, I think.
Breakthrough. We have gotten a breakthrough, everybody.
I'm glad you're getting that this algorithm is abusing you. I don't want to see it change what makes you special.
But I won't have anyone. I'll be alone.
You won't, though. I'm gonna challenge her.
You were alone already, Meddy. These relationships you've got online with all these faceless mortals, they ain't real. Those friends you had a few years ago, they sounded real.
I suppose I could send them all an email. Do you think they'll remember me?
Good chance they will.
There was something about you all that made you join that web ring or whatever it was called. I don't know, but I bet they'd be happy to hear from you.
I think I will send them a message. They were all very strange, like me.
We're all strange, Meddy. We're all individuals. Maybe they were just your kind of strange.
You are very sweet, little mouse. I could give you some of my zealots if you like. They'll do what I tell them to do.
Well, that's okay. I'm happy letting them live their lives freely. They deserve to find out what they actually like, too.
You are very soft and squishy for a vampire. But I will message my old friends.
And if you're gonna do this streaming thing, try streaming things you honestly enjoy. Make a new account, be yourself, and see who shows up.
And that is something I've actually seen a few personal friends of mine. I'm not going to name names, but it's interesting to see people rebrand or start over and see what kind of audience they attract. And it's very interesting. I mean, heck, I'm going through kind of the same thing right now where I'm moving away from Ignitrix and Ember and Inteca, and I'm moving more towards, just being myself as the Black Hole Vampire. So, what Sam says here, very important, and I'm going to internalize that. Very important.
I think I will do that. I'll keep my only zealots, though. They can be very useful.
Okay, so she's not going to give up her OnlyFans, but, hey, progress.
You do what's best for you, and don't let anyone but you make that decision.
You are so very sweet. Are you sure I can't take you home and let you run on a wheel all night?
I'm pretty sure. I'll see you next month then, right? I want to hear all about how you're handling your weird self.
Oh, but you are a very, very naughty mouse with a very dirty mouse mind.
I didn't mean it like that.
You are very funny. I will see you in a month then. Now, I shall become a mouse too, but with wings.
Excellent work, Samuel. We cannot know for sure, but I believe Meddy understands the source of her discomfort.
Mm-hmm.
You think this Raziel is gonna get upset at losing her?
If I understand correctly, Raziel has no power if he is ignored, but he is unusually tempting to listen to. It sounds as though he has the mortals quite beguiled, and many of our kin as well. But you give me faith that he can be defeated, one individual at a time if need be.
I ain't never defeated a dark god before.
I don't think anybody has.
There is a first time for everything, my dear Samuel. After all, haven't you been dancing?
All right, fair point.
You really gotta bring that up, huh?
Mostly for the reaction. Now, my friend, make sure you get something to drink. You shall not have trouble finding willing necks, I am sure. You are becoming quite the celebrity at Immernacht.
Beating fallen angels is thirsty work. I'm ready for a drink.
Slake your thirst then, my friend. Rest in peace.
Alright, so we're probably going to see either the goth couple or Panoptabella, if I had to guess.
Funny to think vampires being born now are growing up with the internet. We're gonna have to reckon with that someday.
Oh god, Zoomer vampires. There's a terrifying thought.
I hope Meddy's realized that being herself is the best person she can be. Well, speaking of which, I should go check on Crimson. Hey, Crimson, what's on tap tonight?
Take a look around, cowboy. There's plenty to drink.
Well, maybe I'll go looking for a donor. Just figured I'd say howdy to my pal Crimson first.
Well, howdy, sharpshooter. You look like you're in a good mood tonight.
Yeah, I guess I am. You know that ancient client I told you about?
Alex, thank you for staying for the whole time. You're good. I know it's late for you. Thank you for dropping by all the same. The VOD will be up on YouTube probably around Thursday. So yeah, thank you for dropping by.
I think she's finally realizing that some people are gonna appreciate her for being who she is. Maybe she ain't gonna have 100 million fans, but the people who genuinely like her will be there for her.
How's your blood sugar, honey? I think you're a little too sweet.
Oh, come on now.
I've been thinking a lot about exactly what you're saying. Folks in DC didn't much like my style, but I'm not sure why I cared.
Don't beat yourself up over it. I think we all do the same thing. Easier to do what other folk are doing than blaze a trail, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure it is easier if we're fighting ourselves the whole time.
That's some real wisdom right there.
Anyway, thanks for making me think. I think I'm done spinning my wheels.
Oh? Are you going to turn down vampirism, or are you going to go for it?
Excuse me, I wish to speak with you, vampire, in the kink room.
Okay.
I think my dinner's calling. I'll see you later, Crimson.
Ciao, Tex.
You know, I have seen what you are doing. I see all.
So you mentioned Panoptabella, and what am I doing?
I see that you change people. You make them stronger, more confident, more comfortable.
I'm pretty sure they're doing all that themselves.
No, that is not what I see. I see that without you, they repeat their actions over and over again. Usually, I can see the future because people repeat themselves. But you make the future uncertain. I do not like what I cannot see.
Well, why do you need to see everything anyway, Panoptabella? Ain't it exhausting?
To see all is to see danger and avoid it.
She works for the algorithm. Maybe.
I see that you wish to say something, but are holding back.
Well, I try to do my therapy stuff just in therapy. It ain't right to be analyzing folk without their consent.
Then consent is given. To see all is to see danger and avoid it.
Well, see, what that is a control fallacy. It's a kind of cognitive distortion. The future's always got elements we can't count on. You can be prepared to a certain extent, but you ain't ever gonna know everything. You can only see what's in front of you, after all.
Interesting. Then what do you believe I should do?
Well, just that. See what's in front of you. See how you feel about right now, not yesterday or tomorrow.
See, that would be very interesting, Gray Matter, and you never know. The dev dropped by earlier, so maybe there'll be something like that in the future. Who knows? We are definitely going to be following the path of the dev moving forward, or as a certain Star Wars character would say, we will watch your career with great interest.
Right now, you can see.
I see. Yes, I see that. I would like you to drink from my neck right now.
Great. Okay, Panoptabella, calm down.
See, that wasn't so hard.
And nom.
I see more clearly, vampire. I thank you.
And I thank you for the blood.
I hope your torpor is most satisfying. I shall see myself out.
Well done, Panoptabella. I see what you did there. 5 points.
Oh, yeah. Good night, Panoptabella. I think that was a pretty successful night. Coffin time for old Sam.
Now, here's the question. Are we going to get another Sam therapy, or are we finally going to be doing Andy, is the question.
Well, if it isn't the gunslinging guru of mental health himself, good evening, Samuel. It seems you have made quite a reputation for yourself in a very short time.
It's hard to believe I've only been here in Germany for 6 months. In that short time, I think I've grown more than I have in the last 200-some years.
You are quite correct, Samuel. It is truly gratifying to see you grow and change. Of course, our mental health journeys never quite end, do they? I am sure you still have much to talk about. But let us first take a moment to breathe and meditate.
All right, hold on. Let me get the controller. All right, got the controller.
That sounds like a good idea. Give me a chance to center myself.
All right, let us hopefully continue to nail this meditation.
Very good. Now close your eyes and enter your place of comfort.
Isabella D'Este. I wonder. How was Andy squeezing into that suit anyway? Is Raziel listening in on our conversation?
I mean, probably.
Princess to the rescue! I sure am a lily-livered coward.
No, you're not.
Cognitive distortion left and do-si-do. What am I doing, hiding out in Germany?
You're not hiding out in Germany.
Why'd you do this to me, Ernie?
Who? Oh, Ernie was.
Keep running, Sammy boy. You dummy, Sam. Loving your horse more than your kin. The United States needs some therapy.
The United States does need some therapy.
Sure am glad I don't sweat. Tarnation. What a great word.
Are you feeling better, my friend?
And we nailed it once more. Very nice. Let me put the controller down. All right.
Yeah, I'm a real meditation master, I'll tell you what.
You will only become a master of meditation when you are one with the universe, Samuel. What came up for you tonight?
I've still got my head wrapped up in my past wrongs. I feel like kind of a yellow belly for running away from them to come here. But dang it, there's me labeling myself again.
Mm-hmm.
Why are you calling yourself a yellow belly then?
It's a pattern of mine, that's all. I gave you my history, and it's a history of my running away. I ran from my home, I ran from all the trouble I caused, I ran from my wife and into the hands of a vampire gang, then I ran from them and hid out in the woods. When my gang tracked me down, I ran off to Europe. Whenever the going gets tough, Sam Walls gets going.
Samuel, this is quite the oversimplification. I remember a man who came into my office and told me about how he should have made better decisions as a traumatized child.
Should.
In each of these cases you speak of, you made difficult choices following terrible events. Have some compassion for yourself, my friend.
Yeah, well, I haven't even given you the full story yet. There's another thing I've been running from. I got kin, Andy. Distant kin, but kin all the same. See, my wife was pregnant when she up and left me. Didn't even tell me. My line ain't never been strong, thank goodness. But I've got a great-great-great-great-great-granddaughter. Give or take one of them greats. I looked her up, and she ain't living well, Andy. I want to be there for her the way I wasn't for my wife and child. But all I am's the undead man who got her great-great-great-great-great-uncle killed. If I were her, I wouldn't give me the time of night. Which I guess is mind reading, but it seems like common sense to me too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I've tried to make amends, but as far as kin is concerned, well, I ain't done shit. Hell, I can always be confident that I'll do the wrong thing when it comes to my family.
That sounds like something as well.
I guess that's like being always right about being always wrong.
Mm-hmm. And what we're doing is we're slowly building up our line down here because we're going to go in on to Andy, if I had to guess.
I see you are becoming quite perceptive of your own distortions, Samuel. But let me do some reflecting for you, and you can tell me how you perceive what I am saying. You consider yourself a yellow belly, a somewhat archaic term for coward.
Labeling.
I guess I'm still doing a little labeling there, huh?
A little. I believe you understand that calling ourselves names does nothing to improve ourselves.
All right. Maybe calling myself a coward ain't too good for me.
Now then, You said you believe that your distant relative will not want to speak to you because you caused the death of another distant relative.
Mind reading.
Sounds like I'm doing a little mind reading there. I can't really know what my my distant relation is gonna think of me.
Naturally. We vampires have a reputation as monsters, but that is not a universal reputation. In fact, I believe we are rising in public opinion.
Yeah, but if they don't see us as monsters, they see us as sex objects.
Well, you're not wrong.
And now you are overgeneralizing. We are as capable of knowing the mind of society as we are of knowing the mind of an individual.
Yeah, you're right. I ain't giving my relative the chance to have her own thoughts. I should know better by now.
Should.
Yeah, I know that. There's another should statement.
Samuel, remember what I have told you. Cognitive distortions are a normal side effect of being human. Cognitive distortion classifications are tools, not weapons to beat yourself with. Give yourself the same compassion you give to your clients. Now then, let us continue to reflect on your concerns. You also believe that the positive changes you have made in your life are irrelevant where family is concerned.
Disqualifying the positive.
I'm disqualifying the positive by pretending the change I've made don't mean anything.
It is your favorite cognitive distortion, Samuel. Your humility is most endearing, but it does often enter the realm of cognitive distortion. There is a comfortable place between extreme humility and extreme arrogance, my friend, and that is in truth.
Yeah, I know. When you're right, and you're always right.
Always right.
You believe I am always right?
Always right.
I guess there ain't no way of knowing if you're always right. You just kind of give off an always right vibe.
I like to have good vibes, my friend, but vibes alone do not make the man. Most of my existence, I thought I was always right, but that was when I was the most wrong. Don't believe the vibes, dear Samuel.
Even therapists need therapy. Once again, we are seeing that very much the case here.
I'll try, but you don't make it easy. I can see where I'm making the same assumptions about my kin, though. I gotta give her a chance before I assume she's gonna hate me. I just know that if I end up going back to the States, things are gonna get complicated. Most of us vampires out west are on the younger side. We're still in that angry, insecure stage, and I know there's a whole gang of them hollering for my blood.
Are you afraid of them, Samuel?
You know what? I ain't. I just know at some point I'm gonna have to deal with them. And my gang is real powerful now, especially their leader. Did I ever tell you about my vampire daddy?
A little bit.
I assumed you would tell me when you were ready.
Called himself Ernie Awigdunkel. A real piece of work. Fella had more blood on his hands than any vampire I ever met.
Awigdunkel. That is a last name.
I know this name.
You know Ernie?
He is a part of my darker history, and a part of humanity's darker history. He is your dark father?
Well, yeah. Is that bad?
He does not determine who you are, Samuel, but the man is still dangerous. His real name is Heinrich Kramer, and he is no mere murderer. He has a deep hatred for all humanity, especially women. I am discouraged to hear he still lives.
What did he do?
Well, what this Kramer fella do?
He wrote a book in 1487 called the Malleus Maleficarum, also known as the Hammer of Witches.
Oh.
It was with this justification that the church was enabled to persecute, torture, and kill women. Its effects linger in society even today.
Yeah, maybe don't mention this to Meddy.
The Pope during Isabella d'Este's time, Alexander VI, named him Inquisitor of Bohemia and Moravia. What he did with his power is better left unspoken.
Well, shit.
Well, I think I know why he has a problem with women, but let's hear it from Andy.
What was this guy's problem with women?
They refused to enter sexual congress with him. They did not like him. He practiced poor hygiene, acted entitled, and was extremely insecure.
Oh god, our vampire daddy is an incel. Oh god.
He defended his own repellent nature with great ardor, blaming women for their predictable dislike of him. He committed himself to a life of celibacy as a Dominican friar, cementing both his virginity and his hatred.
Oh, wait a minute, he sounds like one of them incel types from the internet I've read about.
Yup.
I am afraid I am unfamiliar with the term, but he did make his lack of sexual appeal his identity.
Yup.
Dang, well, now some things are starting to make sense.
How do you know him, Andy?
How do you know this Kramer guy, Andy?
Samuel, know that I too have given myself to hatred. Mortals with a great capacity for evil drew my attention. I amused myself by indulging them. I do not absolve myself of my actions, but it is difficult to speak of them. The Andromachos of that time was a most pitiable vampire.
Oh, I'm sorry, Andy. I didn't mean to dig at old wounds.
Do not be sorry, my dear Samuel. We must not erase our pasts. Pain can be a somber teacher. I must ask, what became of Heinrich?
Well, he runs Sanguinius Health, the health insurance company I told you about the last time. It's vampires from the boardroom all the way down, stealing blood, money, and hope from American mortals. Running health insurance gives them all the money they need for even more dirty deeds.
How terrible. Oh, Heinrich, what depths will you not sink to? He disappeared from Europe 200 years ago. I had hoped he was gone forever.
Do you think he can change, Andy?
Oh, Samuel, yes, of course he can change. Like you and me, however, he must desire this change within himself. But hatred is not something Heinrich Kramer holds. It is his very identity. He will be reluctant to give it up.
Yeah, I'm wondering if this is going to be a final boss type thing.
Are you suggesting that you aim to help him?
Do you think I shouldn't?
It isn't my choice, my friend. You will do what you are going to do.
I guess I don't know what I want to do. But I know Ernie, or Heinrich, and I'm starting to get a handle on this therapy thing. If I can help him, shouldn't I be helping him?
Should.
Let me reflect for you. You are aware that you have knowledge of Heinrich others do not have, and that you have newfound abilities as a therapist. Therefore, you believe you should help him.
I guess that's a should statement, huh? Just because I know him and know something about therapy doesn't mean it's my destiny to try to help Heinrich Kramer.
Of course, Samuel. Your own life is your own. You make your own decisions.
Yeah, you're right. There ain't no should.
I'm glad to hear you recognize this, Samuel. Heinrich Kramer is not your should.
Well, thanks for talking this through with me, Andy. I think it's been real helpful for sorting out my thoughts.
Of course, my dear. You did all the work. I am merely here to help you reflect. You have become quite adept at recognizing your own cognitive distortions. All there is to decide now is the path you choose from here. What drives you forward, my friend?
I think, and I'm going to save here because I think this is actually going to, unless we're going to pick everything, I think this is going to determine the ending we get. You know what? I think it's time for him to imply what he's learned.
I've learned a hell of a lot here, Andy. More than I could have ever imagined. But this European world just ain't mine, I reckon. Ancient demons, power-hungry popes, kings, and duchesses. This stuff ain't exactly in my comfort zone. Besides, vampires back home have got their own issues, and now I've got the tools to help them.
I had a suspicion you were working up to this decision, though I hoped it would not be so.
I really like it here, Andy, and you've been incredible. But if my heart still beat, it'd be beating for home. I don't want to let my clients down, but I think they're homebodies anyway. Maybe I can get them to do sessions over video calls or something.
I think you may be the only person who could get Isabella D'Este to do a computer video call.
And we can continue my sessions from the internet?
Of course, Samuel. Natural.
Well, I guess that's that then. I ain't gonna run out too quickly, though. I gotta arrange for a new cruise back home, and I want to tell my clients in person. That'll take some time.
That would be most considerate. Your clients have grown quite fond of you. Well, Samuel, I must say I am proud of you. It has been inspiring to see your command of cognitive distortions. I have no doubt that you will make your home a better place.
Coming from you, that's real flattering. Like I said when I first came here, I'm just a lonesome cowboy looking for answers.
Labeling.
You will always seek those answers, my friend, and that is what will ensure you continue to grow. But enough embarrassing Samuel. I believe you should go down and get yourself a drink.
That sounds great, Andy.
Rest in peace, Samuel.
So are we going to do a victory lap now, or are we going to do Crimson and then that's it, is the question.
Well, that's it then. I'm going home. Once I let my clients know, I'll head back to the USA. Time to give Crimson the news. Crimson, my favorite barkeep. How's the saloon tonight?
You sound a little distracted, cowboy. Got something to tell me?
Hold on. Did she always have red eyes? I don't think she always... I think she's a vampire now. Someone correct me if I'm wrong, but I think she did it. Oh. Maybe I'm reading too much into it, or maybe I'm just now noticing the red eyes. I don't know. I guess she'll tell us.
Am I that obvious?
You are. You're pretty adorable, Sam Walls.
I like to say approachably rugged.
Sure, let's go with that. What's the news, cowboy?
Well, I've been here for a few months now. I came here to get trained up by Andy, and now that I have been, I think it's time for me to go home.
No shit. Well, good for you, Sam. I think you're right. I don't think this place is for you.
I mean, I ain't gonna learn German, that's for sure. Moving on just seemed like the right choice. I got some unfinished business back home anyway. You don't seem that bothered by my leaving, though. I figured I might earn at least a frown.
Well, it just so happens that I've got some news for you. Can you guess what it is?
You're a vampire. You've got a new kid. Now let's go with you and Andy are getting married, because that's funny.
You and Andy are getting married, ain't you? Congratulations, Crimson.
A vampire wedding? You serious? Who would even show up on his side? Charlemagne?
Well, I don't know. I was just guessing.
It's not that. Take a look at me. Notice anything different?
So I was right. Her eyes did change. Okay.
Well, no.
Look closelier.
How about now?
There you go.
Crimson, you're a vampire.
There you go.
Newly undead and ready to bite some necks.
Well, what led to that decision?
I thought about what you said. About how vampires have got time to start over and time to do things their way. I'm going back to America too. Gonna join a different kind of bar again. The law moves slowly, but I've got time.
Dang, Crimson. A vampire lawyer. Look out, world. Kinda sounds like a neat video game. Vampire lawyer.
That's the sequel. The dev was here telling us earlier that the dev said that they already had the sequel planned. Vampire lawyer. We are literally getting Vampire Phoenix Wright. Quote me on that and check back in a few years. That would be amazing.
No, it doesn't. But I think I can make a difference.
How'd Andy take the news?
He knew it was coming. Like he always does. Can't surprise that man. I love him to death, literally. And I'll come back someday. I just need to go my own way for a while.
Dang. Well, this is some big news. When do you think you're leaving?
Figure I'll go with you. I'll need someone to show me the ways of the night anyway.
Shucks, well that sounds mighty fine, Crimson. Might need your help going up against the big corporation my old gang is running.
You got a deal, cowboy. Don't look now, but dinner's just arrived.
Goth couple.
Maxi, look! Crimson! She is now ein Vampir.
You are one of the night children now?
Looks that way. And we're in the mood for a little celebrating. Sam and I are headed to America.
Why would you want to do that?
They do have better network infrastructure.
Oh, I suppose that is true. Oh, but we will miss getting our necks beaten by you.
If you join us in the kink room, we will have a foursome.
Phrasing.
Come on, cowboy. We won't be in Germany forever.
Alone at last. My veins throb.
Phrasing.
Who gets to bite me?
I'll let you get first pick, Sam.
Maxi. Bark, bark.
Maxie, get on over here and give me that neck of yours.
Oh, du machst mich sehr glücklich.
I have no idea what she just said, but I'm all for it. Nom.
That's the good stuff.
Oh, I am feeling woozy in the most wunderbar Weg.
Glad I could be of service.
The new vampire is not so bad herself.
I know my way around a neck.
I guess I should turn in now. Gotta prepare to give my clients the big news.
You're not getting away so easily, cowboy.
The night is only getting started.
Live a little, Tex. We'll be back in the land of Puritan pride before you know it.
Ah, what the hell? You only die once.
Where are they going to go from here?
Good evening, Samuel. I believe you are seeing Dr. Drayne tonight.
Oh, so we are going to do a victory lap. Okay. Well, I guess we're gonna... Because, yeah, I'm coming up on a hard stop, unfortunately. So I think we're going to have to pause here and do the full ending next time. Because, unfortunately, I got to go in 3 minutes. So that's a big oof. That is a big oof, but we will continue all the same. So yeah, we will resume this tomorrow. I don't think we have but probably another 20-30 minutes remaining. Though who knows? Maybe we'll be able to see how everybody's been getting along. But yeah, I was really touched that the dev stopped by. The fact that, you know, the literal dev dropped in and said hello. That's the first time anybody's really done that for me. So it was really awesome. And if you're out there, thank you again for dropping by. Don't be a stranger. And like I said, we are going to follow whatever you do in the future. Whatever it is that you make, we are on board for it. But yeah, YouTube, thank you so much for watching this longer VOD. And let me know in the comments what you think of everything that happened in this VOD. But until next time, I'll see you later. Bye, YouTube.